Hey everyone, this is Rob,
Hey, Michelle.
and welcome to Bunebape, your weekly podcast and everything you need to know about old school RuneScape. All right, so this week up on the docket, of course, as always, we're going to be starting off with our personal updates
Mhm.
and anything we have to share with you, and then we'll be going into this week's update, which is very small but very meaningful, as it is the 10th anniversary for old school RuneScape.
Yeah.
I know some people might be confused as it was just the 15th anniversary, but that was for something not
There's like
entirely
OSRS
different.
2007 scape and RuneScape. It's
Yeah.
just there's a lot of
So
birthdays, but we take the fashion scape.
this one
So
is the actual bigger of the two, in my opinion, because this is the actual birthday for actual OSRS, the game that people play.
until next year, they're like, oh, that was the old school RuneScape version. This is the OSRS version.
No. Yeah, so this is like the official, I think what people would call the official birthday of old school. So happy birthday.
Happy birthday.
And they have some cool videos and stuff that have come out, as well as, of course, the update. And we're going to be going over that.
Yeah.
And then we're going to be going right into probably the thing that people are actually more excited about, fortunate or unfortunate as it is, because it kind of does overshadow the birthday event by quite a bit. But that's going to be the announcement of the new bounty hunter system that is going to be coming back to RuneScape, as it has been gone for quite some time now.
Announcement-ish. They're still looking for feedback.
Yeah, so this is
It's just a blog post.
this is again going back to their process again of green lighting things and stuff like that. So this is more of them just trying to kind of get a feel for what people want
Yeah.
and stuff like that. So we are going to be going over that. There's a lot of really good information on what they're thinking and the direction they're trying to go with that. So we'll be going over that as well.
Mhm.
And of course, we're going to end off with a little bit of a Q&A.
Yep.
Of course, as always, if you do want to participate in our Q&A, we do accept questions from anywhere about anything, really, not just RuneScape related. So
Yeah, just
make
safe
sure
for work.
yeah, exactly. So just make sure to send that to us through any of the usual channels that we have in the description.
Anywhere
at
you
the
can
end of the
contact
video.
us, basically.
Yeah,
Just like podcast
sure
question.
the best place obviously would be in our Discord, so you can
Mhm.
try and find links down in the description for that. And we do have a questions channel where you can ask them.
Yep.
But before we get into all of that, Michelle, how's it going?
It's going pretty well. So last week I got the Bava transmog, got my little babby.
Yeah.
Haven't been going as hard in transmogs this week. I have not gotten one. I was taking a little bit of break and doing just more like 300s, even 200s. I think I even did like some 170s with some people.
Wow, crazy.
Yeah. I've only seen one purple this week. It was a ring, but a lot of the people there didn't want to split, and I'm greedy. So they're like, just give Boone my split. So I got like 3.5 mil from a ring. And I was like, okay.
Wow.
I mean, I'll take that.
Yeah, I mean, that's free money.
That's the only money that I really made this week, like from a big split,
Yeah. Everything else
So
is just seeds and like blood runes and stuff like that.
basically, yeah. Yeah, I make a lot of money in runes there, but I haven't gotten a purple in my name in over 80 kills now. So I'm like, surely it must happen soon.
Yeah,
I
surely.
guess pet doesn't count as a purple on the drop table, so
No, it doesn't.
Yeah, so I actually haven't gotten one. So hopefully I get lucky. But 2 nights ago, I believe I actually started doing the transmog in earnest again, the transmog grind. We were going for Kefri for a little bit, and it just straight up feels impossible. Like,
It's not.
I know it's not impossible.
It's very not.
We only tried to duo like once, and maybe I need to just do duos. But my issue is people come by and they're like, "Oh, I kind of want to raid," and I'm like, "Join us."
Yeah, so
Yeah.
you haven't really in earnest been going after the transmog is what you mean.
Yeah, I think I need to go with like Perky. Perky's an insane gamer. Perky thought that he could like legitimately just carry me while I waited on that balcony and didn't go into the room at all. But
Yeah.
it turns out that we don't think you could get transmog like that.
Oh,
And I would probably
okay.
get bored anyway, so it's fine.
Yeah, I don't
But,
know.
Perky Porker, by the way,
wonder if you
watch his
can.
stream. He's a really good streamer.
Yeah, I wonder if you can.
He
though.
thinks that you can't.
Oh.
He said that someone told him that you can't.
Huh.
I mean, which makes sense.
Yeah, I mean it makes sense.
But you can still show up last minute. Whenever we sent an attempt with 3 of us, I think, and Perky was there, and he was trying to set up the room, and we waited like 5 minutes before we went in.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, he was just lining up all the poop.
Nice.
Yeah. But yeah, so I gave up on the Kefri attempts for a little bit, and I'm going for Zabak instead, which is definitely easier already. I haven't gotten it, but I did get nearly nearly deathless in one raid for Zabak. Other people were not deathless.
So I don't think we've said this in the past, but so for anyone that doesn't know, what do you need to do in order to
Oh
get
yeah,
the transmog? So this is the
TOA pet transmog.
yeah, TOA pet transmog, so it can turn into any one of the bosses.
Yeah. So to get the transmog, it has to be 450 or above as the raid invocation levels. You have to have every invo on for the transmog that you want. So I'm going for Zabak, so I have to have every single Zabak one on, which isn't that bad. Kefri is just hard because medic sucks.
Yeah.
And the boss that you want has to be level 4 or above. So there's been actually times where we've had to reset because they don't level correctly. And like whenever I was going for Baba would not ever get to level 4. So we just have to leave the raid or just not send a real attempt that time.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's really hard. It's really hard and it has to be completely deathless. Everyone in the raid.
Yeah.
Yeah. So the one that I almost got completely deathless, other people died. So it was fine anyway. I died at Insanity though. We've started doing Insanity again because we are using like Ambrose and Bruise. So the way that we did Baba, we had Dehydrate on. So you can't use any Bruise, but we didn't have Insanity on. So we would just use the Cares, bring tons of prayer pots, and we were able to do that.
Yeah.
Even though it was scary.
I may be ignorant. This question is going to sound ignorant.
It's fine.
But what about Insanity is difficult? Because looking at it looks easy.
It's easy to get stacked out. Is the main one.
It just looks like the same exact thing you're doing, but slightly faster.
It is faster, and it's easy to get stacked out, especially when there's a lot of people running around. Sometimes people's boulders will just fall on you. And right now, because we're trying Zabak, I didn't know this was a thing, but I was told that was a thing. Because Zabak is faster because it's level 4, that means that during Insanity, it throws slightly faster too.
Okay.
So, like, the attacks are changing faster, things like that. But yeah, it hits hard. Like, if you get hit by one of the boulders, it could hit you for like 50. So if you get hit by boulder and lightning and you're not healed up, you're just dead immediately.
Yeah.
Mostly that's what happened. I just panic a lot.
I see.
A lot of people have Insanity on every time. I used to have Insanity on all the time, but then for like a week and a half, I was doing no Insanity, and now I'm just like not used to it again. Also, it's like the added mental pressure being like, I really want this transmog makes Insanity feel harder than it is.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. But that would be fun to have you come on the stream someday and just try to send it and see how it goes.
Yeah.
We should do that sometime. That'd be fun.
I don't know. It'd be interesting, but also I have no interest in it.
See, because he's scared.
No, it's kind of like how, like, sometimes I'm like, man, it'd be really cool to be really good at chess. And I'm like, oh, but I also don't really want to play chess at all.
Maybe we'll set it as a sub goal because I want you to try it so that during the podcast, like, you have experience, you know? Because you're just like, yeah, it looks easy.
It does.
I know, but I want you to try it too.
Yeah.
But,
I mean, obviously to a much lesser extent, it is literally just the same thing as the Sins of the Father fight, right?
I don't really remember Sins of the Father fight. I just remember struggling a lot.
Oh yeah, well he calls stuff down from the sky, and you just are moving like every 2 or 3 ticks.
Oh yeah, but I think I don't know by ticks, but I think that it moves faster than that on Insanity.
Yeah, I don't know.
It's obviously like I hit once, move, like that basically. But I am using Bofa. I don't know if that makes a difference.
Yeah, I don't know. Also, it's surprising to me that I don't know what the meta is. So I mean, this could be the meta, and I don't know, but you don't bring, or I don't see too many people bringing blowpipes for medic, which is kind of crazy because doesn't the blowpipe just one hit all of the things that heal her?
Blowpipe is good. Blowpipe doesn't have a good range, and usually it's one person doing medic, and we have aerial assault on. So if you don't know, aerial assault hits you rather than one fireball, it's like 6.
It's a 3x3. It's 9.
Yeah, or 9. Yeah. So if you accidentally run across the room, like I have done so many times, even just using my Bofa, you can accidentally just go right underneath where someone's fireballs were. So the meta is actually crossbow.
The meta is crossbow.
Yeah, because it's faster than Bofa, but it has a really good range.
Interesting.
But Bofa works for people like me who need to bring as many brews and stuff as they can.
Okay.
That's why I bring the Bofa.
I feel like maybe then, I guess it kind of makes sense because I usually watch people solo things just because obviously I don't really have a big interest in group content. So I think usually whenever I watch people a long time ago solo it, they were using the blowpipe, which I guess makes more sense.
Yeah, because you're not really going to mess up anyone else on the team.
Well, yeah, obviously, but...
But yeah, blowpipe also works if you have 2 people going for medics on each side of the room.
Yeah.
But sometimes we just have one, and they would just be running around. There's been so many times that I've PK'd or other people have PK'd, not like for that reason, but like they come over to help me kill the ranger, and they come to melee it, and we just get so discombobulated and are just running under each other's stuff.
Okay.
Me and Dragon, some people has been running, always make jokes because it looks like we're just trying to PK each other all the time.
Yeah. All right, that's funny. Well, that's
Yeah.
cool. Yeah, I wasn't sure how exactly everything is.
Yeah. I mean, I have never, ever successfully gotten past medic. Like, ever. I think we've always had to reset. No matter how many people say it's free, we've always had to reset.
Have you ever tried to look up strats for it?
Never.
Okay.
Come on, it's not that serious.
I was just making sure. It's just so funny because that's so counterintuitive to me. Like I would like in World of Warcraft, they actually have like betas where you can test out the bosses before they come out. And so people will make like videos, and for weeks we'll just analyze the videos and like kind of know exactly how to beat the boss before we even look at it once.
It's like if I do that, it makes me so uninterested.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I think the interest is in
studying the bosses. I think it just makes me bored of it.
Yeah, I think it's different there because one, it's like the first time you go through all the bosses, it takes several like days, definitely several days, sometimes several weeks, and it can take like a lot of people's time and stuff like that. So you kind of want to get through it fast, at least the first time around. So that's why you.
Oh yeah.
And also, it's kind of like a competition. Like you want to be the best on the server or whatever.
Yeah,
but obviously, it's completely different now.
I'm also coming from the point of view of somebody who like plays 40+ hours a
Yeah,
week, so it's totally different.
I was gonna say it's completely different. Like one, you're not competing for anything, and you're like just doing these bosses like on repeat. So it's like totally different.
And I have time.
Yeah.
But yeah, I know from what I've been told, the strategy is that you just have to all stay in your own corner, keep your poop in a straight line, basically, or not a straight line, diagonal line, and then one person's on medic. I don't know how it always gets messed up, but it does.
Yeah, I don't know.
Because all it takes is one person dying, and suddenly the medics are overwhelming.
Yeah. Well, then it doesn't matter.
Yeah. So, but yeah, I've been sending that. We switched this back. It was cool. Last night we were raiding with Bunebape, who I guess is like the record holder for the highest solo invo ever done, and they'll never get beaten because it was
so it was
when
during,
there was a bug.
Yeah, there was a bug. For anyone that doesn't know, Bunebape actually has videos on this, so you can go check them out on YouTube.
Oh, I haven't even seen their videos.
But,
I didn't know their name. I've heard of them. I've heard of this world record. We've talked about it. I didn't recognize the name.
Yeah, we did talk about it whenever it did happen. But Bunebape has multiple videos. One where they've done solo 500s, I think also 600, and then the maximum at
it was like 770.
The maximum that you can do in the game, which is all of the invocations on at the same time, literally all of them, which
was a bug.
Yeah, which is I think around 770. And yeah, it was a bug that you were allowed to do more because turning on some will turn off others, and so you can never have 770 again. But there was a bug allowing you to have all of them on, and just for the sake of it, I don't think there's like a huge difference in like loot or anything. He just wanted to try it.
Yeah.
And so he did, and he's the only one in the world to ever have done it.
Yeah, so that was actually kind of cool. It's a little bit intimidating though, like because I was raiding with Lato as well, and Lato kept saying like who they were, and people in the chat were like, "Oh my gosh, it's a Bunebape," and I was like, "Wait, who is this?" Then they told me, and I kind of just felt intimidated the rest of the raid. I was like, "Oh god, I'm just gonna embarrass myself."
Yeah, like
definitely died in front of them.
If there was like a conversation for like the 5 best players in the game, he would be in it.
Yeah, Robert even texted me recognizing his name, was like, "Oh my gosh, is that Bunebape?"
Yeah.
And I was like, how does everyone know who this was? And I didn't.
Yeah,
I'm just bad at remembering names.
He's like on the level of like, in my mind, obviously, I don't know these people or anything like that, but in my mind, like I put like, like, I don't, like Wooks, Cold One, and Bunebape are all like pretty high up there for me.
Way up there, yeah.
I mean, Wooks less so. Obviously, he's like really insane, but he doesn't really do like insane like raid stuff too much. Well, recently at least. Obviously, he's done a lot of stuff in the past, so that's why he's up there, but not super recently.
Yeah. It was cool. Yeah, one of those was I actually survived the back, which I felt very proud of, because the back level 4 is like, I was told that's like how a blowpipe hits, how frequently.
The machine gun, yeah.
Yeah, it's literally like every other tick.
Yeah.
I was able to survive. It was frustrating. One of them, I was doing well. We got to Caffrey. I DC'd.
Nice.
For like 3 whole minutes. I ended up making a TikTok and short out of that.
Yeah,
because whenever
you can check that out on our YouTube.
Yeah, whenever I came back, I had broken the raid. I DC'd, but I relogged back in the same world. So I was in the lobby after they finished Caffrey, like inside of the raid. And I went to go get my stuff from the spirit. Wouldn't let me for some reason.
Yeah.
It said like he gives you a strange look. And I was like,
He doesn't like you.
He doesn't like me. And I was like, okay, whatever. And then like Noob Type said like, oh, she can't claim it. And then we went into Baba's room, the puzzle room. I was an immediate ghost.
Yeah.
I was not allowed to do the puzzle. That was actually like, even Noob Type said like, I've never seen that happen before. So
yeah, you just
no
broke the
idea
game.
what happened. And then like after that, I was able to do for the regular Zvok and everything else. It said I only had one death during the raid, so I don't know what happened there. But I broke it.
Yeah, weird.
And I posted a video of that.
So
because it was
if anything,
weird.
anything weird like that happens whenever you get disconnected in TOA, it's not the first time.
Yeah, it's the second time.
It is the second time.
I actually need to go and report it as a bug issue.
Yeah.
Jax. I tweeted out my meme video of it, and then I tweeted Modash, and I was like, no, but actually, why did this happen?
I mean, obviously,
or who do I ask?
Obviously, they don't know. But
I know I never know who to ask stuff, so I know
I don't
everyone
think
just tweets at him.
I don't think you would know anything. I think you would just tweet
It's just
at.
a bug
I mean, you
thing.
could tweet at Husky and be like, "This is a problem," or like, "This is something that happened." I don't know who to message. I mean, obviously, they're both devs, so
Yeah, Ash just said to report in game as a bug issue and type it
Yeah.
in there because
Yeah.
I guess they have a team for that.
yeah, of course.
I had no idea, so I was like, I'll just at you.
Oh, that's cool. Anything
yeah.
else?
I think that's it. Oh, I put out a regular video too.
Yeah.
Yeah, on if easy clues are worth it, so go check that out.
Yeah, she did 100 easy clues.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, it's kind of how I would have expected it to go. Although you did make a lot more money than I thought.
Yeah. We won't say how much money I made. You have to go. We have to keep some allure,
Some
mystery
allure.
here.
Yeah, it's not
go
a very,
check out the video.
not a very long video. Go check it out.
Yeah, no, it's literally 5 minutes.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I've been doing that. Been working on a lot more YouTube stuff. I actually just put out another short that was inspired by the birthday, and it was literally like 10 seconds to edit. It's
Yeah.
not the most exciting, but I felt inspired by one of the Fashionscape rewards that we'll get to later.
Very inspiring.
Yeah,
And
I think I want to make a video on the birthday event too.
are you you're gonna tell everyone that you're TikTok famous now?
Oh no, but I logged in. Okay, I don't really look at TikTok except for when I'm posting. I don't have notifications on. And I went on yesterday and I saw that 2 of my videos are like at over 1,500 views, and one of them is at like over 2,000, and I'd gotten like 100 followers.
Nice.
It was so random because
Yeah.
I had 15 followers, and then I went last night and I had like 120.
Yeah, so she's a superstar, so we're probably gonna start monetizing the podcast now,
Mm-hmm.
and actually make $1 billion.
I mean, we'd monetize the podcast if we could. Let's be real. Anchor
Yeah.
has ads, but we'd rather do like real ads.
Yeah, I think a lot of
which is funny because
people-
I actually love Anchor. That's what we host the podcast
As
through.
as a really weird aside, I think it's funny because a lot of people, I think, assume that we make a lot of money from the podcast when we make literally zero.
Mm-hmm. Well, on YouTube, we made the last episode 20 cents.
It's such an inconsequential amount through all of the channels that I might as well have not made any of the money at
Yeah.
all.
Yeah, we don't make
Like it might as well be zero. It could
We
be
don't make,
zero
like,
and
any
it
money
would be the
from
same.
Yeah, because I mean, if you listen on like Spotify and stuff, we don't make money through that because we don't have ads. We can do, like I was saying, we could do ads with Anchor. We honestly should, but we're just like lazy. And I mean, it wouldn't really pay out because we don't get enough views.
Yeah.
Most of the money that we make is on YouTube, but YouTube doesn't pay. It pays like $1 every 1,000 views,
Yeah.
and they get like 50 to 100 views. So
Yeah.
most
so
of
it's
our
okay.
views are on Spotify.
Yeah, it's just something funny that I've seen a couple times people say that.
Yeah, this is just our passion project.
Yeah.
We just like it.
But is
Anyway, yes. How are you?
that it? Yeah, so for me I don't think I've actually played RuneScape this week, funny enough. I was playing games, but not that much. And then when I was playing other games. I've been really into like Deep Rock Galactic recently, which for anyone that likes or that has seen the movies Starship Troopers, then you might like the games because you're essentially a dwarf. That's a Starship Trooper. Like you go to other planets and you mine their materials and you kill these bugs that do not like you being there.
Respect.
Yeah. Michelle always gets the names wrong, so that's always really funny.
I
But
thought it was Dwarven Space Galactic or something.
yeah, to be fair, you are a dwarf, and it is in space.
I'm a very average height.
No, not you.
Oh,
Wow. No.
I was like, I'm not.
No, you as in the person in the game is a dwarf. Jeez. But yeah, it's a really fun game. I'd recommend it if you like shooting or Starship Troopers or just anything that I just said.
Nice.
But yeah, that's really fun. I've been playing that and a little bit of Path of Exile still. So
Rage that he does not get over RuneScape again.
yeah, Prage, dude. I mean, it's fun. It's just like I don't know. I've never stuck to any MMO permanently forever. That's just I don't know how people do that honestly for any game, let alone an MMO. I don't know. But yeah, I
It's
will
easy.
continue playing it. Just not right now.
Cool.
But that is going to be pretty much it for the updates from us.
Mostly
So,
mine.
yeah, mostly yours. So it's okay, though. We're going to go into the update for this week, though, which is the 10th birthday event. So this came out on the 22nd, February 2023.
Oh, before I had one more thing. I'm doing a subathon on March 3rd, so stop by.
Yeah, subathon. So
That's
you can
posted
go
on all of our
to
socials. You can see the date on there.
yeah, you can go to twitch.tv/Bunebape in order to watch Michelle. She does stream 5 days a week, and again, she is having the subathon on which day?
March 3rd.
March 3rd.
Come stop
So,
by.
yeah, swing by. I don't know. Do you know what day that is?
It's a Friday.
It is a Friday. So, yeah.
3 p.m. Pacific Standard Time.
Okay. So, yeah, probably anytime that you are awake, you can stop by.
Yeah.
And she'll be there. But besides that, going back to the
Birthday
10th
event.
birthday event, happy birthday to you. Should we start singing the song?
Happy birthday.
No, we're not. But they do have a full 10th birthday fashionscape extravaganza where they have some very snazzy looking folk showing off all of the fashionscape that you can get for the event.
The fashionscape. The fashionscape is so good. I'm just
Wow.
overwhelmed with
It was
excitement.
so good she just didn't
I forgot
remember how to speak
Yeah,
English.
yeah,
Okay.
it happens.
But yeah, so you can check out the video if you don't really want to do the event, and maybe that'll intrigue you enough to want to do the event. But the event, I do think, does look okay, but the fashionscape honestly looks pretty amazing.
The fashionscape
so,
stole the show. The event is nothing in comparison with the fashionscape.
yeah, the fashionscape is really, really good. So I'd recommend doing it just for that. But as for the patch notes, it says the 2023 birthday event, celebrating 10 years of old school RuneScape. Wow, a whole decade. That flew by, didn't it? 10 years of tears and triumphs, streams and skills, polls and party hats. Obviously, we couldn't let this momentous occasion pass us by without throwing a very special birthday event. Party Pete is hosting a cake-off in the party room. He invited all of the important people he could think of. King Rold, Bent Nose, and Wartface, Thurgo, Archmage, Cedrador, Duke Horatio, Gnome Child, Elvarg, they've all been given one simple instruction: bring cake. Naturally, the Lumbridge cook is responsible for the Duke's contribution, and his new assistant, Patty Sear, has been traveling the world learning all about baking. This should put them in a good stead to take first prize in the cake-off, but in an unfortunate turn of events, Patty's cake tin has cracked and her hat has been stolen, and now she needs your help if she's going to going to do Lumbridge proud in the biggest cake competition Gilnor has ever seen. So, what did you think of the event? Because you've done it. I have not.
Yes. Okay. And also, you do start this event by talking to the assistant Patty in the Lumbridge Castle
Yeah,
kitchen.
speak to the cook's new assistant in Lumbridge Castle.
I thought it was very cute. So I guess spoilers, like skip like maybe 5 minutes
Yeah,
while we talk about this.
If you don't plan on doing this event, make sure to skip ahead, or I guess don't skip ahead. Who cares? But
yeah,
it's up to
if you don't want to know what's going to happen, skip.
Yeah, exactly.
I thought it was good. I actually really liked it. I saw some people on Twitter saying that they thought it was anticlimactic after 10 years.
Yeah.
Which, I mean, is fair, but like, and someone else is pointing out, like, what'd you expect? Like a new raids announcement or something?
Yeah.
Like, you really can't do that much with free-to-play birthday events.
Yeah, true.
Yeah. But there's not too much moving around. Like, it's all in Lumbridge. You have to go to a couple different shops in Lumbridge, and then they tell you to the Fally party room. But I thought it was really cute. There's some funny cutscenes because they do invite Elvarg, and obviously we murdered Elvarg.
Yeah.
But at one
we
point...
actually cut his head off.
Yeah, at one point, another dragon just shows up wearing a party hat, and then they have a cutscene where everyone's just, like, hiding because it's just, like, flames everywhere, apparently. Everyone was okay, and it lit the cake, so it was fine.
Nice.
But it was actually pretty cute, and I love the fashionscape, and I can't wait to tell you guys about this. This is also available until March 15th, just so you know.
Nice. So you have some time to do it.
Yeah, so the new cosmetics, 10 rewards for 10 years. Before designing new rewards, Mod Skylark reached out on Twitter to ask the community for inspiration. Thank you so much for sharing our brilliant ideas. Now we can share the results, and it's safe to say we're spoiling you this year with all of this stunning fashionscape. Complete the event and you'll receive every single one of these birthday awards. You get a 10th birthday cape, which is like a red cape that says RuneScape.
It looks like a
or
max.
RS.
It looks like a max cape.
It is the same colors as Max Cape. And then honestly, my favorite is you get a plush of Jad, Gnome Child, and the stray dog, and you just like switch them. It's all one plush, but you change them.
Yeah, you can.
And you just carry in your offhand.
Yeah, so you're just holding
It's
him.
really cute. And the Gnome Child one, you're just holding it by one of his little hands.
Oh, that's cool.
It's so cute. I like the stray dog one the most. You get Jad and Bob the Cat slippers, which I think are the most popular ones.
Yeah.
By far, the slippers are the best. You can switch those as well. And I have in real life mole slippers, and now I need in real life Jad slippers.
Nice.
He has a pointy little nose that I never noticed, and now I need it.
Yeah?
Yeah, it's cute.
Okay.
You also get a birthday cake hat, which has like a couple candles on top. It's pretty cute. A Gnome Child backpack, which I really like. That just looks like the Gnome Child is like in a baby carrier on your back.
Yeah.
A silver party hat. I think silver's 10-year. Like that's the medal for it or whatever.
Oh, is it?
You know, like how platinum's 100.
Yeah, how like the really old school people, it's like pearl is like your 15th or something like that.
I'm pretty sure silver's 10. I did not look it up.
It's so funny because like year 1 is like paper. Like you're supposed to give your loved one like a signed letter or something.
Year 2 is cloth, I think.
Yeah, it's just
so you're like buy him a sweater.
The first 5 years is like the lamest years, and then it really bumps up after that.
Oh yeah, I know. Then they're like diamonds.
Yeah.
Next up is the old school jumper, which comes in 6 variations. I actually think this one's really cute. It's just like a black sweater with red trim, and it has like the RS logo. And on the back, it has a party hat that you can change the party hats to different colors.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah. I kept trying to switch it, and I was like, nothing is changing. Like, I don't understand. And then I looked at the back and saw the party hats are different colors.
I hope that one thing I hope that they continue to do is make all of the like sweater/jumpers
changeable
for Fashionscape usable as warm weather gear.
Yes.
Because for anyone that doesn't know, you can actually wear the old Halloween jumper, the one that's reversible, to wintertime. It's a warm weather piece.
I love that sweater.
Yeah, so it's kind of cool because obviously there's really nothing going on in in that mini game in Winter Tot. So
truly,
yeah, it'd be cool to just be able to look like kind of cool while doing it.
I agree. Next up is the dragon candle dagger. So it looks like a dragon dagger in a candlestick.
Yeah, it does.
And then some 10th birthday balloons. They're just balloons that say 10, And a brand new party emote, which I didn't know about, so I haven't tried.
Nice.
Yeah, I know. I need to log back in for that.
Completely missed out.
I know. I recorded like a whole video too. I'm going to go back and re-record that. So my issue with my video, side note, is that I was using the Fashionscape plugin to wear my best party fit. And the entire video, I was like, wow, there's a bug and I can't see the plushes when I hold them. That's crazy. And then I realized it was just because I had the Fashionscape plugin, and for some reason I can't also hold a plush at the same time. So I'm going to have to go re-record some of that anyway.
Wow.
Basically,
Ruined.
I'm a faker and was too cheap to buy a elegant blouse and pants.
Well,
I had to use the plugin.
They're not even expensive.
They're not expensive at all. I'm just lazy. But anyway, so you're restricted to 1 plushie and 1 jumper per character, but you can change the style whenever you like by simply right-clicking the object and using change style. Make sure to grab these goodies while you can. Birthday treats only come around once a year. If you're not able to join celebrations this time, you'll have to wait for next year's event to unlock him. And that's like a whole year away.
Wow, a whole year.
So, wait, are you going to go get them? They're really cute.
Yeah, probably.
Honestly, these are some of my favorite awards thus far.
Yeah, for anyone that doesn't know, I usually don't do event things.
Yeah.
Even though I cover them here, I can't be asked,
I think that the slippers and the plush are my favorites.
Yeah?
Yeah.
I mean, okay.
Well, because in real life, I've talked about this before. There's this creator, Witchy. She creates OSRS plushes, and she does like bosses. And I've always thought like, if I ever get the Jad pet, I want to go get the Jad plush because I think it's so cute. And there's a Jad plush in the game, so I was like, oh, I like this.
Yeah, that's cool.
I mean, the stray dog's pretty cute too. I like that as well.
The next thing is going to be the Old School's 10th birthday live stream. Luckily for you, you have not missed it.
You'll have missed it by the time this is out.
Yeah, you will. Actually, never mind.
Well, they did a live stream.
Yeah, as of recording this, you haven't missed it, but you will, unless you're there tomorrow, February the 23rd at 1600 GMT, which is when they're going to have it. There ain't
So
no
travel
party.
back in time.
Yeah, there ain't no party like a JMod party. Join us for a special live stream from Jagex HQ. So they have the large L couch that they do a lot of their announcements on, and it seems like they're going to be kicking off the live stream there, answering any of your questions, and they might even have a quiz to get you reminiscing.
I also forgot to say at the end of the birthday quest, they don't even mention on here. You go to the Varrock basement, you know, like where everything is,
Yeah.
and they're now collecting parts to add boss displays.
Yeah, so I
So
actually
it's a
saw
worldwide
that.
thing.
It's a worldwide thing, and it's not too many of them. A lot of them are already either halfway or getting close to being done, if not done already. I haven't checked recently, but you can also you have to turn on the drops from those bosses for them to
Oh.
actually drop and like be added to the table. I think you talk to supervisor, like supervisor.
Oh.
The
Wait, is that actually his name?
Yeah, the person that's like downstairs, and then you have to turn on the drops for them to start dropping. But
Okay.
it's like 100 drops from Muspa, 100 drops from all these different
Yeah,
bosses,
but it's like
Sarachnis and
these
stuff.
new unique drops.
Yeah, they're brand new
It's
drops
like
that have
Muspa
never
shards.
dropped before. But a lot of people are some people were surmising that it's like adding additional or 10 more years of like stuff to the museum.
Yep. Like, yeah, adding Temporos, Muspa, all the new stuff.
Yeah, all the new stuff to the museum so that you can get more kudos and stuff like that.
Can I say, I don't remember if there was boss stuff down there previously. Was there? Or was it just the fossils?
In
The basement.
in the basement? No, I think it was just fossils.
Okay, I went down there and I was like, this looks new, but I don't know if I just haven't gone down here in a while.
No, yeah, I think it is just fossils. So yeah.
Yeah, there's a bunch of boss displays. It's really pretty. Whether it's new or not, it's really cool looking.
Yeah.
I would check it out.
So definitely check that out. And I think if you since you obviously probably have missed the live stream, if you really want to celebrate the birthday, you I think can go back to the
Their Twitch page.
their Twitch page and check out the VOD
Yeah.
if you want to do that.
Next up is a Quest speedrunning update. So Dragon Slayer 2 is now available on Quest speedrunning beta worlds. This is a Grandmaster quest, so naturally we'll be keeping a close eye on the difficulty for you speedrunning superstars. We've set the following completion times per trophy, but as always, we're open to amending them based on your feedback. So Bronze is 155 minutes.
Yeah, so
2.5 hours.
Quite a long time.
Platinum is 95 minutes. Still an hour and a half.
Yeah,
Oh
still
my God.
a long time.
See, like, stuff like that, I don't think I'll ever want to speedrun. That
Yeah.
just sounds awful.
It's funny because like that's not something you want to speedrun, and it's not something I want to speedrun either. But that being said, like
get it?
the speedruns I am interested in for like Path of Exile are like 3 to 4 hours long, so it's
Yeah,
kind
no.
of funny.
I don't have the patience
In-
for it.
In this game, I feel like that's just too long. I'm
Yeah.
just
I mean, there's so much RNG involved in
yeah.
attacking.
also that kind of I don't know. That reminds me of like because obviously a lot of the time is spent around teleporting or running, and we were
Mhm.
talking about this recently.
Oh, yeah.
And what do you think about like because obviously they're talking about redoing agility to an extent, but
I thought I dreamt that.
no, remember the
I have very vivid dreams.
I think the mods actually said they wanted to potentially like redo agility so that like your run energy you pretty much were like a marathonist at
Did the
99
mods say that,
agility.
or was it someone in the community suggested?
I think that's what the mods were saying.
Yeah, I honestly don't remember. So if we're wrong, whoops.
I think
yeah.
I think the mods were saying that they were suggesting wanting to do something like that, but it wasn't even like really on their radar.
Yeah, I think that we should not run out of run.
Yeah.
Hot take.
Yeah, I was thinking that too because I remember us bringing this up during the live stream, and I think that a lot of people would stray away from saying stuff like this or agreeing with it. But I think if
I
you-
strayed away from it first, then I really thought about it, and I was like, no,
yeah, if
it's
you
kind of pointless.
if you think about it for a second, it's kind of like a lot of games where it's like adding like monotony to things doesn't make it like content.
Yeah, doesn't make it any better. It just makes it more annoying. And I think that that could get a lot of people, especially in free-to-play worlds, because they can't get stamina. That can make a lot of people not interested in the game.
Yeah, but I think they could do that and then still keep the allure of agility just being
Shortcuts.
like shortcuts and just add more shortcuts.
Mm-hmm. And then somehow provide like an extra buff with graceful.
Yeah, and then graceful will just make it so that maybe you even run faster.
Yeah, like a tick every
I don't know.
20 minutes. I don't know how that would work.
Yeah, I was like, I don't know how that would work. I would be like,
But
maybe it's
something to make graceful still relevant.
maybe it's like 100%, 120% move speed.
Or I'd even be okay with if you have graceful, you just never run out of run. It just doesn't make sense. You can be 99 run or 99 agility with full graceful, and that you still have to walk sometimes.
I think the only reason I think that's a good idea, but the only reason I don't think I would agree is because I know people already hate how useful graceful is.
Mm-hmm.
And so they would never go for making it like, best in slot for everything except for whatever you're doing at the time.
Well, also with the forestry update, how they were talking about having bags to hold like the lumberjack outfit, a lot of people
Yeah.
are thinking something similar could be on the way for all scaling outfits.
Yeah,
So
I
like
don't
agility you wouldn't have to wear.
it would really, I think, be a disservice if they added that and then didn't add that for every outfit.
Yeah. I imagine that they are gonna add it for every outfit. There's no
Yeah.
way they're just gonna do that for woodcutting only.
Yeah, because it's like, why would you not want Fashionscape while running around the game?
Exactly. That's when you want it the most.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, let us know what you think. I was just thinking
I
that
think
like
no run's the way to go, honestly.
yeah, with all of these like really long quests like
No, I
this,
just said no run, no walking.
yeah, like this or the Corinne quest that they released the other week. That's the really long one, the newer one.
Kingdom Divided.
Yeah, Kingdom Divided. Like there's so much running. That's like that accounts for, if I had to guess, at least a third of the quest is you just going from place to place.
Yeah, it's kind of
so
annoying.
it's just like so long. And like I said, it doesn't, just because it takes a long time to get somewhere, that doesn't mean that you're
It was a
having
more worthwhile journey.
yeah, it doesn't mean you're having a good time doing it or it adds anything to the quest. It just makes it take longer.
Yeah.
So
I don't think there's any benefit to having you run out of run. I mean, you could still be able to walk if you want to, but I feel like it doesn't make sense.
yeah, I think
I love games that you can just constantly run. I'm way more interested in it.
and I think you could still maintain like a longevity for all of the like agility potions and stamina potions just by making them so that you either have to take them to go through certain shortcuts or you can
That's
take
a good one.
or you can take them to just increase your speed.
Yeah, they definitely have to add more shortcuts though if they got rid of run
Oh yeah.
to make it
for
more
sure.
interesting and to add more to agility.
Yeah, because agility would be like kind of lame.
Yeah.
But I mean, it already is kind of a lame skill until you get Sins of the Father unlocked and you can do like the sepulcher.
Yeah,
Because like, what are you doing? You're just running in literal circles for hours.
it's weird.
It's. I mean, I don't think we've talked about this before, but it's honestly a pretty lame skill.
Yeah, I never thought about it, and then I did see somebody say like agility, you just run in circles for hours and hours, and I was like, oh, that's weird. I never thought about them, just like a little
Yeah.
gerbil.
It's actually really funny because that's what you do in WoW. It's like a known thing. Is especially whenever like the main town has like a circle in it, like the road is like a circle in the middle.
Mm-hmm.
Like there's a couple famous towns like that, but whenever people like get bored, they'll just go in circles,
That's funny.
and you'll just see someone running around. You're like, and some of them even
They're training agility.
got to a point where there's like a mod or like a plugin where it'll like count your laps for you.
That's really funny.
Yeah, and
So it's just agility.
yeah, so like over the however many months or even years that like you have been in this like one area, then it'll count like, oh, you've ran around this place like 1,000 times or something.
Jeez.
Just because you
Just
get
for
so
fun.
you just get so bored and you're just waiting for people or whatever, and it's just like,
Yeah.
yeah, I don't know why that is a skill in this game.
Yeah, that's when you put like that's really weird.
Yeah, I don't know, but yeah, let us know what
Yeah.
you think. I thought that was just kind of funny looking at these really long times for this quest.
Yeah. That'll be the last of our promised quest speed running updates, but don't worry, we're still going to add more in the future, just at less regular intervals. We hope your space bars haven't suffered too much. We'd like to take the opportunity to once again thank this quest speedrunning community for their awesome feedback. You've really helped shape a very special part of the OSRS experience, and we're blown away by your dedication and talent.
Yes. So I think that's code for they're never gonna do another quest
No.
for speedrunning. So
No, I hope not. It's actually kind of fun.
No, for sure. So continuing on, the wilderness boss rework fixes. This is a very short section, but bear with me. Players should now be able to engage in combat one tick sooner when entering the wilderness boss caves. This change was made to address the feedback to the delay on entry can feel quite jarring when chasing or escaping targets by looping through the boss layers. Rings of Wealth now work correctly for wilderness bosses, and the spindle lair interior has been adjusted to level 29 wilderness to match the web chasm entrance.
Okay.
Yeah.
There's-
What's it called? I guess something I wanted to bring up is that they haven't fixed yet, and they haven't really talked about fixing, is kind of like how I've seen this pop up a lot on the subreddit, where it's the entrance fees for the
Oh yeah, they
boss
were
layers.
talking about it. Then they didn't really say anything else about it, huh?
Yeah.
They're probably still getting feedback, I'm sure.
Yeah, because I've seen people dying at like the most absurdly far places from the layers,
And they still have to pay the fee.
and they still lose their fee.
Yeah, that's weird. They need to fix that.
Yeah, it's kind of crazy. Like it'll be so incredibly far away, or like so unless you like world hop or something like that, it doesn't get rid of it. It doesn't reset it.
That's weird.
Yeah, so
They
it,
talked about it a couple of weeks ago. I hope that's something that they actually change.
yeah, it kind of seems like it's almost anywhere in the wilderness. So I would just recommend if this has happened to you to swap worlds, like yeah, world hop or something like that, because that seems to be like one of the few ways that actually resets the layer fees.
Mhm.
Because I've seen people lose their layer fees from pretty much anywhere in the wilderness at this point.
That's frustrating.
Yeah, which I think people are saying that they purposely did it like that in case you were fighting around the layer and then like are running away, and they still want the PKers to be able to get the layer fee
Mhm.
if they do get you or whatever, or for you to lose the layer fee, and so they leave it like that on purpose. But they want it to be, I think they said they want it to be like a smaller area, but they don't want it to be like
Too
just
small.
yeah, they don't want it to restrict it to just the layer. They
That
want
sounds like it's gonna be tricky.
yeah, it definitely does seem like it'll be tricky, but yeah, for anyone that has seen that recently, that's kind of what they said about it. But hopefully they like actually do it soon because it kind of just seems ridiculous.
Yeah, but there's been some other small changes. So, activity high scores that previously had a minimum kill count of 45 have been expanded. The new minimum is 40.
Oh, they just keep going lower.
Yeah, so they actually kind of mentioned it. Players currently in the 40-44 range find their scores are added gradually after a few more gaming sessions. We're taking it down in small steps like we did last week so the system doesn't struggle with a big influx of newly ranked players all at once. So, thank you for your patience. So, I feel like unless we totally missed it, they didn't say what their goal is. I wonder if they're going to 1.
No, yeah, they didn't.
They didn't
say
say
that
their
at all.
goal, so we'll see how low it gets. I personally think it should just be 1 because I want to see everyone's kill counts, even if they're under 40.
Yeah,
I'm
I mean,
greedy, or not greedy. I'm nosy. There we go.
yeah,
I'm greedy too.
a different form of greedy.
Yeah,
Yeah,
greedy for information.
I've never cared, so this just seems kind of interesting and like weird. But yeah, I don't know. It just doesn't matter.
Binding spells are now wiped more reliably at the end of LMS sessions. Zolbra's loot now stays on the ground longer before despawning. And when sacrificing bones on the Wilderness Chaos altar, they will now be consumed starting from the top left of your inventory rather than the one that you just clicked on. This should make repeated clicks more convenient.
Yeah, this was a big, or not a big, but this was one of the many things that people were saying the other week about how the wilderness is different from the
POH?
from no, just the main game in general.
Oh no, how we were talking about. Yeah.
Yeah. So this was one of the things where they added this to the POH or just to any altar that was not the Chaos altar for some reason. Yeah. So now they've added it to the Chaos altar. So it for anyone that doesn't know, this makes it a lot easier because you could just like spam click the bones that are on your bottom left of your inventory to make it a lot faster. And so it'll just like you can just keep clicking that, but it'll just take it from the top of your inventory, kind of like exactly how it is for karambwans or food in general whenever you're cooking it.
For most things.
Yeah. The next thing is going to be for the community. For anyone that has not been informed and doesn't watch the Gilnor games, then maybe you can go watch it because the season finale is actually coming up really soon, and it happened and it's done. So it says 20 of your favorite content creators competed in weekly challenges and eliminations for all for the hope of winning the grand prize worth billions of OSGP. And this is the Gilnor Games finale. So
Robert didn't watch it, so he didn't know it ended.
Yeah, I don't watch.
He watched one episode with me.
I certainly don't watch TV shows, and I certainly don't watch
YouTube TV shows.
So yeah, if you
I watched it, I haven't finished it though.
Apparently, it's good. If you're interested
really
in watching OSRS content and stuff like that, then you can go watch it. There's plenty of episodes to watch because the whole season 3 is up there.
Yeah.
And also the streamer awards, they wanted to let everyone know that Bodhi has been nominated for the best MMORPG streamer. So if you
it's actually very cool. Someone from the OSRS community.
Yeah. So if you would agree, then go put your vote for whoever you think should win.
Yeah. Based on that, I think that Bodhi is the only OSRS gamer at all to be nominated for anything,
Yes, I
which
would
is kind of
agree.
huge.
Yeah, I would agree.
Yeah.
They do finish off by saying we have a thriving community of content creators and an equally thriving community of people who love watching them. Last year, the very talented It's Will was nominated for the prestigious award and unfortunately beaten out as a Golden Gnome winner and an absolute staple of the community. We feel we should have done more to help highlight his content to a wider
Wow.
audience.
So they didn't even tell anyone to vote for him?
I guess they felt bad that they let It's Will lose. So, yeah.
That's funny because he's just doing free advertising for you guys.
Yeah.
You couldn't even just mention it in a blog post. How dare.
So now they're trying to repair amends, and so
By having
hopefully,
someone else win.
Yeah, hopefully you can see Bodhi, who has been voted this year around instead of Will.
Yeah, now they've actually realized, wait, it would benefit us to have somebody win who plays our game.
Yeah, they're like, it's more money for us,
Yeah.
so let's do it.
Yeah,
And,
there's also a new clue for Crack the Clue 3 that is out now.
Yes, so this hint is for the emotes on the original 4 maps, so you can check them out. And also there is new merch, actually some of the only tasteful merch in my opinion.
I like some of the merch.
A really cool map, a pretty chill 10-year pin, as well as a 10-year OSRS black and gray t-shirt, which I think looks really, really good.
Mm-hmm.
So if you're not a fan of all of the really OSRS related merch, then I think this is some of the more discreet stuff. So
Yeah, just a map of Gilnor.
yeah, so it looks kind of cool. I like it. And also there is a pink max cape for people that are interested.
Plus, Angelscapes have a few extra lines to anniversary, including a special limited edition silver medal variant and the Max Cape keyring and a DFS pin. Oh, and did we mention it's actually a shared birthday? Angelscapes is also celebrating a whopping 5 years of designing pins for the merch store and has created a special pink Max Cape keyring and a DDS pin with matte gold metal details for the occasion. These are very limited edition. Go check them out. They're actually so cute.
Yeah, I think they look really good.
Yeah, Eat Great Femme. She already bought the Max Cape. Pink's like her favorite color. It's her brand, you could say.
Oh, okay.
She's already pre-ordered that one. She's like asked me what I was gonna get, and I was like, I'm poor.
Yeah.
Maybe someday. I think the DDS is so cute. The pink DDS.
I just like the shirts. They have some like cool, just regular old school shirts. And I think they look really good. But
Yeah.
also the pins do look good. I think the DDS looks really good.
Oh, definitely.
Yeah, so if you are a fan of the OS merch, then they have a ton of different stuff to look at for the 10th anniversary. And like I said, I think it's some of the more tastefully done stuff. So
They're really good.
Yeah,
I really like
check
all
them
the
out.
limited edition things too. It feels cool.
Yep, and then there is Max Med loadouts for ranked arenas this time around. But that is going to be it for this week's actual update.
Mhm. And before we move on to the Bounty Hunter, it is now Thursday, which means we actually have a couple more things to add to the docket because there's been some more updates. So we are going to also be talking about the Golden Gnomes. Nominations are now open, and there's been a little bit of an update on Forestry.
Yeah, I'm honestly glad we waited because there's kind of a lot to talk about.
I know, right? I also did want to correct myself yesterday. We were talking about the museum after the birthday event, like changing, and we were so confused because we didn't know like if this had been here before and all that. I was totally tripping. I was thinking Varrock Museum. This is all happening underneath the Faldor party room.
Yeah, entirely different place.
It's a totally different place because I was like, I don't remember any of this. And it's because I never have gone downstairs in Fally party room.
Yeah, most
But-
people don't even know that there is a lot downstairs.
Yeah, there's a lot of displays, and they ended up finishing all the displays. So there's some new ones, like up from like 2018 to today. So go check it out. There's some really cool boss displays. There's some cutscenes of like entire areas that are pretty cool.
Yeah,
I
pretty
spent
cool.
like
pretty cool
15
area.
minutes there earlier.
Yeah, especially if you're already there for the event. So
Yeah,
might as well check it out.
Exactly. But anyway, with that, we can get back to the Bounty Hunter update.
Yeah, so moving on to the Bounty Hunter update. So it says, for too long, escapers have hunted each other in the wilderness simply for loot, for fun, or for glory. It's high time to hunt your fellow players for that most noble of reasons. Sport.
God, that's terrifying.
Bounty Hunter is back. If you caught 2022's Winter Summit, this won't come as a shock to you, but if you missed it, then a surprise. Quick reminder, Bounty Hunter is a fast-paced PvP minigame that pits you against other players with similar combat levels and comparable wealth at stake. Step into the combat zone where you'll be assigned your bounty, then hunt down your fellow players. Successfully eliminating your mark acts like any other PvP kill. You'll get any items they weren't protecting, plus additional rewards for dispatching them within the minigame. Today, we're bringing you up to speed on our plans, and so they have a lot of plans going over all of their stuff coming up for Bounty Hunter. I don't think I'm going to read it all, but
Yeah,
I
we'll do a
will
little bit of
read.
an overview.
Yeah, I will read each of the points, and they do say that they're going to start by outlining what they call the design pillars going into this, and so they want to recapture and revitalize Edge style PvP. So for anyone that doesn't remember, I think the last time that Bounty Hunter was a thing for us, at least, it was pretty much all on. Most of it I think was being abused on the border of the wilderness near
Yes.
Edgeville,
Yeah.
which is why they ended up taking it out because it was really easy to abuse the system and make a lot of money. And so I think they want to kind of move away from that,
Yeah.
obviously. So that's why it took a few years off.
I guess the rewards were too good because people were. That's how I made my first mill. Somebody said, "Hey, I'll give you a mill if you let me kill you," and I said, "Okay."
Yeah, because you were rewarded with like the higher kill streak that you had. So if someone
Yeah.
had a really high kill streak and then got you as someone to kill, then they could potentially make way more money than
Make
whatever.
you an offer you can't refuse.
Yeah, exactly.
Which I'm sure
So,
that will still somehow happen, but maybe
yeah,
less so.
if you were lucky, I think it was pretty easy to make like a few mil an hour there. Just doing like random, like walking up to random people and just selling them your death.
I remember I made 1 mil, and then like 2 days later they got rid of it.
Yeah. So you
It was sad.
I think you could easily make between like 1 and 5 mil an hour there, depending on like how lucky you got, I guess, or how generous people were
That's
being.
nuts. Was I exploiting a bug? That wasn't a bug. That was just people.
No, you
Yeah.
were exploiting a market, unfortunately.
Hey, so I didn't get in trouble.
But either way, no one got in trouble. Edge style PvP is the sort of PvP you'll have seen in previous iterations of Bounty Hunter, or the one that springs to mind when you think back to the good old days of people whacking each other without a care.
The kind of PvP I'd maybe actually be interested in.
Yeah, and they did want to make a distinction that, in short, this is called honor PvP. Plain and simple, or plain, simple, and fast paced, as opposed to no honor, which is essentially what all of the wilderness is now, which is where all bets are off. You can use any overheads, any teleblocking, binding spells, anything is possible in no honor PKing, which is, like I said, pretty much how it all goes nowadays.
Yeah.
They wanted to add quick matchmaking to allow players to be assigned targets with similar combat levels. So they kind of already said this, but that's exactly what it says on the tin. Bounty Hunter is all about finding reliable fights with people who have similar combat capabilities and where you stand to gain just as much as you risk losing.
Yeah. So if you're level 126, you're not going to be fighting a bunch of people who it's their second month ever playing the game.
Yeah, so they even later on,
They do get clear on it.
yeah, later on they do clear up and say they want it to be within, I think, like 5 levels,
Yes.
5 combat levels of each other, but they're open to changing that and making it a wider range. But
Yeah,
that's their
but both
initial
parties
thought.
would have to agree if it was a wider range.
Yeah, so they do go on to say that they want to add unique and attractive rewards. Of course, like we said just a minute ago, usually it was the form of money, just straight up a lot of GP for killing people. And it looks like there's going to be a slight difference this time. So they say to spice things up and make you feel like your time is well spent, this one is on you. We'll have a good idea of, or a good deal of back and forth with you to nail these down. For many PvP-minded players, Bounty Hunter was the activity that helped them find their feet and get stuck into PvP. It focuses more heavily on a simpler type of fighting than what you might see in minigames like LMS, where no honor, tri-bidding, and outlasting your opponent take center stage. I honestly think LMS is a better way to learn PvP because one, you're not risking anything, and two, that is how people play the game. No one plays honor PKing, so
Which sucks because honor PKing sounds more fun to me because I guess it's just because I don't really want to learn a bunch of techniques. I just want to go and hit people and have fun.
yeah, I mean, obviously LMS is cool because, like I said, you don't risk anything, and also I think because it showcases the main way that you're going to be fighting. No one is going to be like, all right, two of you head-to-head brute, just go hit each other with god swords until one of you die, which is
Isn't that what people do for their gambling or whatever?
no, that's a Darog death matches.
Death
which is,
matches, there we
yeah,
go.
totally different. But I guess kind of similar in that you're not supposed to like do any overheads or anything like that. But yeah, I don't know. I think LMS is better. I don't know why they said this, but either way, we want to recapture that feeling of approachability that brought so many people to earlier iterations of Bounty Hunter. We hope more of you can experience and enjoy those tentative first steps into PvP, just like so many before. So, with those aims in mind, let's begin. And so they do go over quite a few things. Like I said, we're going to try and
Yeah.
speed through this, especially with the new Forestry blog that just came out, as well as the Golden Gnomes.
I like how as people more into skilling in PVM, we're like, let's just skip through this bounty hunter.
I think it'll do both of us justice by kind of speeding through this, because not only have we not played the game since forever, we also have not PvP'd very often. So I think
I'll try this though.
yeah, I think letting people know that this exists and that we're going to be voting on it very soon is a good idea. But if you're looking for us for advice, you have bigger problems.
Yeah, no, we can't help with that.
Yeah.
But the first thing is that it's not even going to be in Edgeville this time. It's going to have its own area.
See, that's kind of funny because it was never technically in Edgeville.
Wait, what?
Yeah.
Okay, so whenever what happened last time, Robert and I were like barely playing the game, knew nothing about the community.
Well,
me.
Before Bounty Hunter, actually, even when we were doing it, they had like high value zones in deeper wilderness, and if you went and PK'd in those higher value zones, then you would get more rewards.
Oh.
So that's how it worked before, and that's why sometimes people would want you to go to deeper wilderness, because there were
I do
those
remember
higher
that
value
actually,
zones.
yeah.
But that's kind of how they want to do it again. But
it seems, I mean, my impression of this is that's going to be more of like an instanced area.
yeah, but they want to maintain it more in strictly the like wilderness outside area where you'll only get bounties there.
Yeah, no hopping over the ditch.
Yeah, before you would get bounties as soon as you hop the ditch, which is what people would do.
Mm-hmm. So you're going to be inside of a crater, and while none of these are set in stone, the crater is what they're calling the area.
It's literally a crater, and this used to exist in 07 a long time ago.
Yeah, I guess they had plural.
Yeah, so they used to have a giant crater back in the day, and I think one of the mods did confirm that they don't want it to be like this again, because before it was just a really large crater that took up a large part of the middle of the map.
Mm-hmm.
And so they don't want that the exact thing again, but they're talking about adding a similar thing.
Yeah. So none of these are going to be set in stone, but they do want to hear our thoughts on following restrictions within this crater. So no binding spells, no protection prayers, and no teleblock usage, or possibly no teleporting, instead requiring players to make their way to the safe area to leave combat, which they get to in just a second. So the aim of this would be just to keep people fighting honorably, keeping things quick and simple while minimizing the chances you get caught off guard by a teleblock entangle or granite maul spec attack out of nowhere, eluding your first ever kill.
I wonder if they're gonna keep the key system along with this, because I'm guessing they're gonna make it its own world again, probably.
I'm imagining, I mean, I don't remember if they say this later. They could. But I'm imagining it's going to be like totally instance, like you don't have keys. It's like a mini game low key, but you bring your own stuff.
I wonder if they'll make it like an actual mini game, because I'm not sure. But either way, to like kind of describe the diagram, it's a giant circle where you'll only spawn on the edges of the circle with a like safe lobby in the middle, and all the PKing will go on in between the spawns and the safe lobby in the middle.
Mm-hmm. And there'll be 4 entrances to get into the lobby, so you can't just... People probably will camp out by the doors, but less likely.
Yeah, I wonder how it's going to work, if there's going to be like a bank and all that stuff in the middle.
There is. They actually talk about that a little
Yeah,
bit.
I
They
thought
say
that-
that
thought
they're
they
going to
did.
let people also just like work on skilling there and stuff for all the bank standers
Oh, yeah,
who
yeah.
want to watch it.
Yeah, I remember that. Yeah, I think that'd be actually kind of a cool place to bank stand. But
Actually, right?
yeah, I think that'd be kind of funny. But yeah, I do wonder if they are gonna allow you to have keys in here as well, for those people that already have it active, because that's still one of the most stressful things for me is looting after you end up getting a kill, and then like actually getting PK'd right after.
Oh, yeah.
Probably one of the most annoying things. But
I don't remember that. I'm sure we'll get to it. But they do say how they plop you just on the outside of the circle. So that means that you have to track down, or hunt, we should say, your bounty before you start whacking each other. Plus, you always have the option to make your way back safely if you're out of supplies or special attack energy using the same entrance that you click to get into the crater, even while teleblocked, similar to the wilderness ditch.
yeah.
I don't know if that's good or bad. It also means they're able to cut down on a lot of the faff that goes to regearing. So normally whenever you go to regear, you teleport to your POH, drink from your pool, teleport to bank of your choice, open up your loot key, regear, then run back to wherever you're fighting. So they just want to streamline that process.
Streamline
That process.
This is not a steam engine train.
Shut up. I was looking at the Steam store earlier, okay? We want to streamline a lot of the process so the focus stays on fighting, which I like. Even just like bossing, that's so annoying every time they have to go back and regear.
Yeah, I guess
Makes everything
so.
harder to grind.
Yeah.
So in this lobby, they want to introduce a bank, a chest for your loot keys. So I guess that there will be loot keys.
Okay. Well,
I totally forgot about that. My bad.
Yeah.
And an NPC to introduce you to Bounty Hunter and allow you to access any reward shop we include. We also envision a stat recovery pool similar to the one in Ferox Enclave, so you could top up quickly between fights. Additionally, well, not exactly a core feature. Some people, like I was saying, just want entertaining background while they're bank standing. So just like casting High Elk on top of the outer walls of Castle Wars, why not make those potions you've been crafting for weeks and relax as the carnage unfolds around you?
Yeah.
So you will be able to bank stand.
Yeah, so you will have a bank, and you will be able to deposit any keys that you happen to get while PKing in Bounty Hunter. So
I love
that's
when our
cool.
own questions get answered 2 minutes after we say them.
Well, yeah, I mean, I'm sure other people are asking the same question, so it's all good.
No, not even being sarcastic. I'm glad we got answers.
Yeah, so the next thing they talk about is sculling. So at present, entering the wilderness on a target world automatically gives you a skull, meaning you'll be able to protect one item if you're above 25 prayer. Conversely, some of the account builds that players have most enjoyed using in the past have been so-called unskulled builds, where the expectation is that they'll be allowed to fight without sculling up, since they often build their accounts in a way that prevents them from using the protect item prayer, or just because they want to risk more and not lose everything.
Yeah. Honestly, I wouldn't want it to be skulled.
Yeah.
Because I'm probably just going to go the cheapest gear regardless. But I'd rather have
most
3 pieces of cheap gear than 1.
Yeah, I think it makes it a little drier if it's all skulled, just because, like you said, everyone is going to be in cheap gear unless
except for the really good PKers.
Yeah, unless
they're going to kill everyone.
Like if you see someone running around with D-claws, they're either really good or really dumb. So you're going to go for them regardless.
And you're going to be scared. Probably, I'd personally be scared. I just assume that they're really good.
Yeah, exactly. So you're either going to totally avoid them, or you're going to be one of the people going straight after them. So
this has more variety because there'll be a mix of expensive and non-expensive.
Yeah, seeing someone in like full bandos won't be like, all right, I'm gonna go for that person. It would be like, okay, maybe they're saving their bandos +1, and then you'll still get probably more than the average for killing that person, but you're not gonna get a full bandos set.
Yeah.
The next couple options they have are for sculling. So option 1 would be everyone inside the bounty hunter crater is skulled. Above all else, this option is easy. Everyone knows exactly what they're getting into. Anything you're not able to protect via protect item will be lost. On the other hand, having to buy return sets or stock up in advance, as well as the potential of being overwhelmed and forgetting your protect item prayer, might be off-putting for newer PvPers.
I could see that totally.
Yeah, exactly. That's kind of like why I was saying it's kind of nice LMS. You're not having to worry about any of that because it's not your gear.
This still sounds more fun than LMS to me because LMS just seems so high-end because it's either everyone says bots or it's people who are really, really good at LMS. I've only ever gotten a couple kills there.
Yeah.
It's hard. Yeah, also, I'm really bad at PvP, to be fair, but it is hard.
Yeah, exactly. And the second option, we use the typical sculling mechanics throughout the crater. If you initiate combat, you get a skull, which cannot be lost during combat. For players choosing to remain skulled, they have to deposit GP, or for players choosing to remain unskulled, they have to deposit GP into a bounty coffer to be able to enter the crater. The amount of GP required could scale with your combat level or with your combat level bracket, and be set up to only take effect after you've already got a few kills under your belt. So kind of like a Zulrah buyback situation.
Yeah.
This is a topic we'd be especially grateful to hear from you all on, so that we're confident to make a choice that feels right for the content. If your feedback, just make sure to give all their feedback and make sure that you let them know which one you'd be more interested in. Option 1, where everyone's skulled, or option 2, where it works exactly how it is now, but you add a little bit of GP into the coffers because you're not going to be obviously taking the same risk as everyone else.
If you have an even better idea, also let them know.
Yes, of course, through the normal avenues. And which one do you think is a little bit better?
I just wanted like the regular wilderness, but I kind of wanted it like different. I guess I wanted it unskulled the entire time, which doesn't make sense.
Unskulled the entire time. Okay. Yeah, I think option 2 is kind of cool
I like
because it
option two
allows you to
more.
opt into it.
I would say that that'd be good because people could be hunting you and you wait till they attack you and then you like get all your gear and you're like shoo, 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 and
Oh,
mess them
okay.
up.
Yeah. Hopefully everyone knows
That
what that
noise.
means.
That's a DDS. Shoo, shoo, shoo.
Okay. Uh, yeah, so the next thing is they're going to be talking about matchmaking.
So now you're ready to hunt, you need a target. We talked about this a little bit before, but again, your target will be within 5 combat levels of your own. On the other hand, they are considering the possibility that you can cast a wider net and have the option increase your matchmaking range to plus 10 or to a further plus 15. So this means that you'd match with a wide variety of players, but only if you have both opted into this wider range. So you won't be like taken advantage of if you're like level 85 and a level 100 comes for you.
So both of you would have to be willing to do this instead of like if you're 90, you're not going to get paired up against someone that's 70 or anything like that, or 75
Unless
rather.
they agree.
Unless they've said that they want that to happen.
If they agree, that I'd be intimidated. I'd be like, why would you agree to this? You must be strong.
Yeah, or they're just a specific account type.
Very true. So upon entering the crater, there'll be a short delay before you're assigned a target. This gives you a little bit of time to prepare, but you could also act as an immunity period to prevent you from being rushed as soon as you spawn in for combat. You won't be able to receive a target while in the lobby area, meaning you'll need to make sure you're right for anything before stepping in. I like that, actually.
Yeah, that's
cool.
You
can't prepare for what kind of build it is or what anything.
Yeah, I think that's a good idea.
As before, you'll be given the option to skip your target if you don't fancy the fight. Maybe their build is one you're not familiar with, or their risk isn't quite up to scratch. Whatever the reason, just click the skip button in the UI or log out. If you spend more than 2 minutes outside the crater's combat area, you will also skip your target. However, re-entering the combat area before the 2 minutes are up will add an extra little bit of time. This is how you're able to re-gear and try again if you're up against somebody you're enjoying fighting. If you skip too many targets within a short time, you'll receive a penalty. They don't have the exact numbers for the thresholds yet, but they'd like some feedback per usual. Some examples would be like player skips 3 targets within a 30-minute window. Player is then unable to receive a new target for 30 minutes. Force him to go rogue or wait it out. On their next win, they'll receive reduced bounty hunter rewards.
Yeah, so this is actually pretty similar to how it was before. You would just get a penalty if you just kept skipping, because mostly people would skip a lot.
To get easy targets?
To get either easy targets or people that were doing the kind of like roundabout exploity thing that we were talking about earlier.
Until the person responds to their DM saying, yeah, I'll do it.
Yeah.
And more ongoing rogue now as
so,
well, if that sounded weird.
Yeah, so they do talk about rogue a little bit further, and yeah, it's kind of interesting. So they say that while there is honor among thieves and bounty hunters alike, some people just want to watch the world burn. If chaos is what you're after, you can always go rogue. A rogue player is anyone who attacks another player inside the crater with it not being their target. So for this sort of behavior, it has consequences. If you choose to go rogue, you'll still be able to get the regular PvP loot from whoever you killed, but you won't be eligible for any of the additional bounty hunter rewards. You'll also be given a fancy new skull that lets other players know that you are who you are.
You're a rogue.
As for those consequences we mentioned, we'd like to know what people think they should look like. They could be as simple as preventing rogues from exiting to the lobby area for a short time, or something a little more creative. Your most devilish ideas are welcome.
The rogue idea kind of sketches me out because that just sounds like regular wilderness.
I know, that's why I was like, man, this is kind of lame, because that's cool in that, like, you could go rogue or whatever, but also it's
kind of defeats the bounty hunter thing.
Yeah, I'm like, I would just be in the wilderness, and it's like, it'd be the same thing as if you go in there and you are risking more because you're planning on going against someone that's also risking similar amounts, and then someone just comes up and smacks you.
Yeah, it defeats the purpose of having those ranges of only 5 skill levels. If you can just go in and, I mean, I don't know, maybe they have to be within the 5 levels still, but
I think it would just be like the wilderness. It would depend on how deep you are in the wilderness.
Yeah,
but still, yeah, I don't know. This again, I think this is kind of cool in that, like, it's like, oh, you could go rogue, or
but going rogue just sounds like you're in a regular PvP world.
Yeah, it just sounds like you're gonna find the person that seems like they're risking the most and go for them instead of getting assigned like someone that's an appropriate level or whatever. So
we'll have to see how that goes.
It does kind of seem like it defeats the purpose, but I'm not sure. So let us know what you think about the rogue system.
Maybe it's actually great.
Overall, not a fan, but either way.
Yeah, the idea of it's a man to me.
Yeah. And they also do have emblems like they had in the past.
So the emblem system is probably one of the most memorable components of Bounty Hunters Gone By. It's a way to encourage players to go for those kill streaks and give additional rewards to ruthlessly efficient killers who never let their hit points drop below 0. And this is also, I'm assuming, how people in the past would make a lot of money by paying others to let them PK them.
Yeah, emblems have always been one of
Yeah.
the best ways to make money in the wilderness. Even now, you can still get them from revenants, obviously, and they're usually a pretty nice drop whenever that does happen.
Yeah, so for the emblems this time around, they've got 2 ideas of how they want them to work that they're going to outline below. So the first would be the single emblem approach, which effectively rewards you with a bonus point for killing emblem holders unless you build up your streak to hopefully cash in your own tier 10 for some points too. You'll have 1 emblem at any given moment that can't be traded, alchemized, noted, or stacked. Killing your target levels your emblem up, and killing a target with a higher tier emblem will reward you with bonus bounty hunter points. The multi-emblem approach, which was actually a player-suggested idea, by the way, effectively gives you plenty of opportunities to go for streaks and to have multiple emblems on the go in case you're not feeling super confident and don't want to risk your tier 9. Emblems of the same tier can stack for easy inventory management. Killing your target levels up your highest emblem, and killing a target with a high tier emblem will reward you a bunch of tier 1 emblems. The aim with both systems is for tier 10 emblems to be worth significantly more points than tier 1. So that you're encouraged to level your emblem as high as possible rather than obtaining a pre-leveled emblem from your target, as in previous iterations of Bounty Hunter. I
don't know.
I don't know enough about Bounty Hunter to have an opinion on this, frankly.
Just like from my, whatever we're reading right here, this seems kind of lame because it kind of, I don't know. It makes
you have
it seem
two options.
Like one, it would seem like the emblem system is like a kill streak reward. So it's like if someone gets to 10 kills, let's say pretend, and they don't die and they get a tier 10 bounty, then yeah, sure, that person probably deserves the tier 10 bounty because they just killed 10 people in a row without, or 15 people, 20 people, whoever, whatever number it is to get to a tier 10. They probably deserve extra money because they've just been absolutely slaying people.
Yeah.
But I think the fact that you can change which emblem you're risking seems to be kind of counterintuitive because
that's the multi-emblem approach.
Yeah, the
so you like the single one more.
Yeah, the single one makes more sense. Like it's like you're going on this kill streak and you're getting rewarded for it. Whereas with the multi, it's like effectively you gain plenty of opportunities to go for streaks, and they do say that that you can change which ones, right? Oh yeah, it says emblems on. You can have multiple emblems on the go in case you're not feeling super confident and don't want to risk your tier 9. I feel like that defeats the purpose. Like why?
So I'm a little bit the opposite. I feel like that sounds easier, so I want it.
I mean,
I recognize it might not be the best idea.
Obviously, it sounds easier, but I mean, obviously, I'm not experienced with Bounty Hunter or anything like that. So just based off my limited knowledge and just reading this, it seemed kind of counterintuitive. Like I'd rather if I was just getting a kill streak, get rewarded for the kill streak instead of being like, oh, I don't know, I feel like my luck has run out, and then go swap to like a tier 1 emblem or something.
Yeah.
Which I mean, I guess would be kind of like way more convenient, but also, in my opinion, it kind of defeats the purpose of it.
So Robert is team single and I'm team multi.
It's kind of like the thing where it's like, do you want to be like a millionaire, where it's like you keep going and keep risking it, but if you mess up, then you lose it all.
Yeah, that scares me.
So it's like it would make tier 10 actually an achievement and actually like have a good reward instead of like, all right, cool, got tier 10 again, time to swap back to tier 1 and just do it again. Because
I mean, it's still probably hard to get tier 10. You still have to get them in the row with that level emblem.
Yeah, I mean, I guess so, but I think if well, one, I think it's easier to exploit, and two, I think it's just like, oh, this person's wearing, the regular, just D-hide and whatever, and you're wearing whatever, if there's a certain build that you see running around
and you could beat them.
Yeah, and that's like kind of the fight style that you're like looking to go against, then maybe you're gonna just put away your emblem until you find other players like that.
I guess so.
But yeah, I don't know. That was just my initial impression.
Yeah. Keep in mind, neither of us really played it.
Yeah.
If we're not making any sense, whoops.
Yeah. And we are going to take a look at Bounty Hunter points, which is going to be one of the simpler aspects to the design, but in what looks like a growing trend, we've got two ideas for you to weigh in on and invite you to perhaps carve out a third that improves on both if you want to. So obviously each successful target kill should award you a bounty hunter point to be exchanged for bounty hunter associated goods and services, simple as. However, we could give you extra points for kill streaks, meaning you're still getting a little something extra even if you wind up dying with your emblem before trading it in. I think this is kind of a cool
I
idea.
agree. It reminds me of Slayer, and I love the Slayer streaks.
Yeah, because it's like it's cool, like I said, that you are risking it all and like continuing to go for kill streaks. But if you get to like 9 kills in a row or something, which is kind of a crazy amount, and then you die, it's like, oh, that kind of sucks. But
So
it
the
would be nice to have some
compensation.
compensatory rewards.
Oh, never mind.
Yeah. So, for example, they want to do a kill streak of 1 to 2. We'll get you 1 point per kill. A kill streak of 3 to 4, 2 points per kill, and a streak of 5+ will give you 3 points per kill. So you'll
Yes.
still be getting bounty hunter points even if you go on a kill streak and die afterwards.
I 100% like the idea of bonus points for kill streaks.
Yeah.
It'll
so
just incentivize people to keep going.
Exactly. They do say that they're undecided on whether they want additional kill streak incentives and if they're necessary alongside the emblem system, but we're putting it in front of you to help us figure it out. Additionally, we'd like to offer some extra bonuses for certain kill milestones. This might sound a lot like we're turning your fellow players into Slayer tasks, but come on now, we've never considered something so utterly barbaric.
First line of this thing was like, how about hunting for sport?
Yeah. Honestly, that would be a really cool if you could opt into it
A
as
wilderness slayer task?
wilderness slayer task. If it was like a thing you unlock for 300 Slayer points, then one, you know what you're getting into, and
That's
two,
crazy.
that would be cool to get like a Slayer task of like 7 players.
That would be so interesting.
Yeah. Although, I mean, that
People
could
could get
be
their alts or something.
maybe that'd be too exploitable, but it would be a cool idea.
Yeah.
Maybe
It'd be
they'd
cool
have
if
to
people
be.
wouldn't exploit it.
It would be cool if they had to be at a similar level than you.
Yes.
Because then it'd be harder to make a exploit it. Obviously you still could, but it'd be harder.
Yeah.
Of course, bounty hunter points are only as useful as the rewards that can be exchanged for. We'll be getting to those in just a second, but before that we have monetary rewards before we get to the actual rewards.
So, previous iterations of Bounty Hunter haven't exactly been smooth sailing. In the past, tying Bounty Hunter points to gold resulted in boosting my gold farmers to generate immense amounts of gold per hour at the expense of matchmaking and gameplay experience of players who were engaging in good faith.
Yeah, which
was I playing in bad faith?
yeah,
I
which
was.
Jagex clearly cares about.
Elements above design go some way to combat this by preventing frequent rematches, harsher skip penalties, a potential unscold cost, even the use of the crater itself. There's nowhere to hide inside the crater, meaning no more camping all the way over by Varrock Lumberyard. Once you're in, you fight, run, or die. With that in mind, they want to share another proposal from actually the same community design that we were talking about earlier that was suggested. They think that this has some merit as well, so it'd be an earning potential system. The aim of this player-suggested EP system are to effectively decouple gold from bounty hunter points, provide an additional monetary incentives for players engaging in good faith, allow us to cap the amount of gold it's possible to generate per hour, and give players some help paying back a handful of deaths if they're opting into extra risk. We think it's a really interesting system, though it is pretty complex and in need of some tweaking, so of course, let them know what you guys think. In simple terms, it would work such as all players inside start at 0% EP. To be eligible to gain some, you have to risk a certain amount of gold, and this risk would be deposited into a coffer. If a player is eligible to gain EP, they'll gain 2.5% EP every 2 minutes. Entering a safe area before the 2 minutes are up will reset your gain timer, but it will remember your value. Dying to a target increases your EP by 10%, so it's possible for us to time gate this, for example, once every 15 minutes if needed. Killing your target means your EP depletes back to 0%. Depending on how much EP you had, you'll receive some kind of reward crate, and the average value increases with higher EP. The original suggestion had this value made up primarily of artifacts that could be traded to an NPC, as well as a healthy helping of blind supplies to keep you topped up. We're not looking to bring back what you might remember as the old EP system, though, so no random item drops that would otherwise require killing high-level NPCs and so forth. Ultimately, they think it's a system with a lot of promise if they're able to get it right, and of course, that is if the community likes the idea. This player's initial proposal suggested using EP as the sole source of monetary gain from Bounty Hunter and having a separate set of untradeable rewards to really shake up the experience. No matter what, we'd like to offer some additional rewards that go beyond pure profit to keep you invested, but we don't want to completely close the door on offering additional monetary incentives. Above all else, we want players to feel rewarded for their time getting stuck into this fast-paced style of PvP.
Yeah, I don't know. It seems okay. It seems really complex, but essentially it just seems like it rewards you for
The better you do.
participating
Yeah.
essentially. But yeah, I don't know exactly how that would incentivize good faith PKing because yeah, I don't know. It just doesn't really seem like it would.
Well, when you die, you get punished in a way.
Yeah, when you die, you get punished in a way, but what about the other person?
They can just pay you.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
They can't really prevent that.
Yeah,
There's no way to
exactly.
prevent that unless you're like, you can't trade someone that you fought.
Yeah, it just seems like a little bit of an extraneous system, unless I guess maybe I'm just not thinking about it correctly. So I guess if it was explained to me in a different way, I would better understand it and get behind it. But just reading it off of that, it kind of doesn't seem super necessary. Like there's already, I think there's already like plenty of like incentive to do a bounty hunter, at least in this blog post.
Yeah, I mean, we are going to get to rewards right now as well.
Yeah. But speaking of rewards, let's take a look. So it says money makes the world go round, and we'll be looking over all your feedback to help us figure out how to handle that sweet, sweet GP. In the meantime, let's talk about some of the things we could offer to spice up your bounty hunter experience. We're not looking to lock in anything immediately. For now, we want to inspire your creativity and hear your suggestions. So if you caught last week's Desert Treasure 2, the Fallen Empire blog, we included a few bits of guiding wisdom for making a pitch. To sum those up, simply think of something that's cool. Don't get bogged down in all the numbers. So if you have any good ideas, make sure to bring it up, but don't get too in the weeds. Just give them a good idea. To get those creative juices flowing, we'll share some ideas we had as well from the Winter Summit. So the first thing is going to be Ancient Warrior equipment. So these were introduced back in RuneScape in 2008, alongside the first ever PvP worlds. The long lost armor and weapons used to belong to people like Vesta, Stadius, Morrigan, and Zuriel. They've made their way back to old school via Last Man Standing and Dead Man mode, but we'd consider offering them up as Bounty Hunter exclusive rewards as well. This means that they'd only be usable within the crater, leaving the rest of the game unaffected by the spikes in power that they provide.
I actually like that.
These are very, very strong items. For anyone that doesn't know, probably just straight up the strongest in the game.
I think that's really fun, actually.
Yeah, I think it's kind of cool. I don't know. I wonder how it would work. Like if you got you got paired up against someone that had this gear, you would just straight up lose unless you were like an insane player.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I don't know. I think
That's
that'd be
true.
interesting. These armors and weapons are extremely strong. Tier 78 equipment that packs a serious punch. In Deadman, these are non-degradable, tradable offerings. Vesta's Blighted Longsword is untradeable and requires 50 million GP to activate. In the original PvP worlds, these were tradable when fully charged, but would disintegrate into dust after the charges were used
Oh,
up.
wow.
So what's the best approach? We reckon that to offer these as rewards for use inside Bounty Hunter, some kind of degradation charge system makes sense, and trading off immense power for impermanence. Let us know. So similarly, the original version of these armors had corrupt alternative versions. These corrupt tier 20 weapons and tier 40 armor had stats far beyond what you'd expect, but could only be worn for 15 minutes.
Interesting.
As a result, many players opted to build accounts specifically around their power. We'd love to know how people would feel about a similar offering in Bounty Hunter. That's a lot to nail down, though, so to offer these in a subsequent blog is what they're planning on doing. So if you have suggestions or ideas on how you might like Ancient Warrior equipment to work or come back, then let them know. An additional reward is going to be Bounty Hunter specific weapon attachments or imbues. So they say, what if you could imbue or otherwise upgrade weapons like the D-Mace, D-Longsword, Dark Bow, and more to help these weapons of yesteryear keep up with the more widely used counterparts? We likely wouldn't be looking to displace staples like the Dragon Dagger, but instead offer you more choices. Having some imbues exclusive to Bounty Hunter means that we'll make it a whole lot more fun without worrying about adversely affecting the wider game. Perhaps if some of these imbues prove particularly popular, then we'd be able to pull adding them to the wider game. But that would be a question for the future. So this kind of reminds me of like what we said the other day when when we were talking about how they balance PvP and PvM separately.
Oh, they would add
Or
this only for PvP
yeah,
seemingly.
where kind of like where I said like
Oh,
they are gonna eventually have to move towards balancing the game separately,
yeah.
which is kind of what they're doing here. They're saying like these items would be really good only in Bounty Hunter.
Oh, yeah, no, that's interesting. Because I was interested in them until you said that, and I'm like, oh, that kind of goes against everything I said last week.
Yeah, which is, I mean, like I said, this it's not something I'm like for or against. This is just how
It's
games
kind of,
have to be if they're
yeah,
having both PvE and PvM. Because
separate.
yeah, literally every game before OSRS and after OSRS has had the same problem where it's impossible to balance PvP and PvM in one set.
Hmm.
So yeah, this just seems like they're moving towards that.
Yeah, they're proving your point.
Yeah, which is kind of cool.
Next up, they talk about combat XP. So, fight players, kill players, get points, trading for experience. Perhaps you've got 50 attack here and you're weighing up whether or not to level up to 60 or 75 attack. Fortunately, you've secured enough bounty hunter points to stock that XP up and you can take the plunge at a moment's notice. It's that simple. We'd like to consider offering experience rewards in exchange for bounty hunter points, similar to the XP awards you might find in Pest Control or Soul Wars. What was saying? Not so simple. Everybody loves to watch numbers go up, but what about when numbers go down? Some of you will know where we're headed, but before you get too excited, let's provide some context and temper expectations. So they actually did pull minus XP lamps years ago, but it ended up failing with a yes vote around 71%, which, it would pass now. They've considered offering these again as like PvP arena rewards, but still weren't in a position to actually make it happen at that moment, regardless of any additional issues about how to balance them appropriately. We're pushing to try and make the necessary changes where we could offer this kind of a reward feature, though we can't confirm yet that would be possible. We also need to discuss with you how such a feature would work in game, what kind of restrictions should it have, how much XP and XP minus lamp should remove, etc., etc. So, just to reiterate again, this might not happen, but potentially minus XP lamps, which I
Yeah.
know a lot of people would probably be really excited about, everyone who accidentally ruined their peer accounts.
Yeah, or not even that, just anyone that wants to go back and, change their account. So like
I
if you
was thinking,
PK all day and you're like, "Man, I am really tired of tri-brooding, so I wish I could just try like a Zerker build."
so my impression reading this is it wouldn't just be during Bounty Hunter, it'd be always,
It
right?
would be always, yeah, it would change your account forever.
I already can imagine a Max account making a YouTube series of them like demaxing their account using these lamps.
Yeah, I could see that.
That's gonna happen.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I don't really put anything past this community, but yeah,
They'll do
I could
anything.
definitely see that. But
We're a shameless bunch.
yeah, honestly, yeah, I could see that happening where someone's like, "Oh, I'm really tired of being in this combat bracket. I wish I could just go against, some lower level
Yeah.
combat." And yeah, they could just decrease their attack and become a strength pure or something like that.
I,
But
I love this idea actually. I think it's cool.
yeah, so I think this is a good idea, and it already almost passed. I don't know why it didn't, because it doesn't seem
It
like
said it
it's
was
that.
years ago,
Yeah, it
so
doesn't seem like that big a deal, honestly.
I'd agree. Like I'd never use it.
Yeah, and but besides that, the last thing is they are planning on adding some recolors or ornament kits.
My
So
favorite.
yeah, some fashionscape for the PvPers, such as stuff for the Berserker Helm and the Granite Maw.
Yeah, they
So
were even thinking of like bloody variants of those, by the way, which sounds very cool.
yeah, which is cool because that kind of reminds me in WoW, some of my favorite. You could like enchant your weapon to look a certain way,
Hmm.
and they were like really like corrupted or bloody looking variants.
Yeah,
And it
you
was
kill people with
only
these weapons all day.
yeah, it was only from PvP that you could get it, so it was really cool.
Nice.
But yeah, so overall, it seems like a pretty cool update. Obviously, this is all just stuff that they're talking about, so
Yes.
they want feedback.
They want suggestions if you got them.
Yeah, so make sure to give that to them there.
Yeah, and they do have a survey at the bottom of the blog post
Yeah.
for you guys to reach out to them directly.
So yeah, it seems pretty cool, and we can move on to the Golden Gnomes real quick.
Yes.
For anyone that wants to vote, you can go ahead and vote. It's going to take place on March 24th, the 12th annual Golden Gnome. Go check it out.
So you actually can't vote yet.
Well, I mean, obviously
you can
not
you can
yet,
nominate right
but-
now.
Yeah, not yet you can vote, but you will be able to vote on whoever gets nominated for a bunch of categories. There's going to be video streaming and art. So,
And plus community achievement rewards now.
yeah, plus 2 community achievement rewards.
They're all going to be for RuneScape or for OSRS, and you can nominate anyone that you like.
yeah.
You could nominate Robert for something. Art? I don't know, he makes my thumbnails.
Oh,
Be like
okay.
specifically Robert from Bunebape.
Yeah.
Just for
So
fun, you can nominate him.
yeah, we do not plan on even getting nominated, but
Yeah, no.
hopefully whoever you do enjoy in the community, you go vote for them whenever that time does come.
I was kind of thinking I could win best OSRS video with that short I made the other day of me just zooming in on Jad Slippers saying "Damn Daniel."
Yeah, it's probably better than anything ever made.
Yeah,
So
so nominate me, thanks.
yeah. Um,
There's so many people that I follow that want people to nominate them, but like they all want to be in the same category, and I'm like, I love you all. I can't pick and choose, so I'm just not going to nominate anyone.
yeah, it's so funny because I honestly just couldn't care less. But
I follow a lot of people on Twitter.
it is pretty cool for whoever does want to be nominated. You can nominate them right now. Simply head to the link in this blog, and they'll be nominated until the 2nd of March. Yeah, so they do say that nominations will end on the 2nd, and then you'll know who you have to vote for on the 6th. So you'll have potentially from the 6th to the 13th in order to finish voting, and then they'll decide and show everyone who won on the 24th. So this is all taking place in March, so make sure to keep up with it if you care about that type of stuff. And that's pretty much it for the Golden Gnomes.
Awesome.
But we can move on to the final thing, which is going to be the forestry update. This is not a ton to go over because we already went over all of this in one of our past, I think it was 2 weeks ago.
It was last week.
It was last week. Okay.
It was really long.
Yeah. So forestry has come back yet again with a little bit more clarification as well as some other stuff, which is pretty cool. It says, we're back with a quick update on the forestry proposal, including the changes we made in line with your feedback, potential release timelines, and of course, the question you'll see in the official forestry content poll on March 1st.
It's coming up very soon.
So yeah, March 1st is just a couple weeks away, or actually a little less than a couple weeks away. And in that, they'll have all of the content polls that we are going to go over today.
I'm so excited about it.
Yeah. So for anyone also wondering, they are going to be cutting this up into two different timelines or two different
Releases,
rather. Yeah. So phase 1 is going to be in June, so just a few months away, and then after that will be in August. So in June, they're going to be releasing the group cutting, tree behavior, leaves, campfire, tea brewing, as well as the first batch of events and rewards, with the second release having the different batch of events and rewards, as well as some balancing changes.
Because we all know we'll need it. We
Yeah.
always do.
And they continue on to talk about content placement.
So the survey results are in, and you've told us that you want forestry to sit somewhere near Solisep mushrooms in term of XP. It's better than AFK redwoods, but nowhere near the heights of 1.5 or 2 tick teak chopping.
Yeah, so I think the XP for Soliceps is around like 70 to 90,000 an hour.
I thought it was like 60. I have no idea. I haven't been there. I went there once like last year.
I think I'm thinking of like higher end. So if you are
when
lower,
you're doing it well.
if you're doing it around the appropriate level, it'll be less.
Yeah. For gold, you'd like forestry content to compete with tree cutting in general, staying somewhere between mage and mahogany trees, which I think is actually pretty good. In terms of intensity, you're hoping for something akin to Wintertot without the forced interruptions. Thank God, I hate that. Thanks to all who submitted their feedback. As you could see, this is really useful data. So to clarify, they don't plan to change the core XP gained from chopping trees. Instead, they expect buffs to come from the new group, mechanics, and events. This is where you'll gain the most XP in gold, and we expect it to be more interactive experience too. More fun, more gold, a little more XP. Sounds fair to us.
Yep, sounds good overall. So they talk about the tree cutting behavior and mighty trees. So it seems like a lot were super on board with the new approach to tree chopping. And to make it clear that something we missed previously, this behavior will be changed for everyone, free to play included. So
Good.
we're still looking on to which parts of forestry should be free to play and which should not. But with that being said, they say that although there was decent support for including both the new behavior and the mighty tree variants, we think that ultimately this would go beyond the scope of the update. So we are not going to be getting mighty trees this time around, but maybe in the future. So
Okay.
poll question 1 is going to be, should we change the behavior of how trees spawn and despawn? So whenever you first cut it, it'll start or first cut and regenerating if the players stop cutting it. So kind of how it works for the upper level of the MLM mines. So yeah, that's how it'll work. So it'll make it so that there's going to be less resource competition. You and all your buddies can cut one tree at the same time. And then if you stop, it'll start regenerating. So it's kind of cool. And then poll question number 2 is going to be, should players chopping the same tree receive an invisible bonus up to 10 players, which would be a plus 10 invisible bonus. Yeah, overall seems pretty
Presumably, it
cool.
doesn't say it's +1 per person.
I think they said that
Oh,
in the
okay.
past blog.
I was like, when?
No, yeah, I think they said it's up to a plus 10 invisible bonus.
Okay.
So I'm assuming it's 1 per player.
Yes. Moving on to the Forestry kit. Good news, the only change we're making to the Forestry kit is removing the Forester's scone for now. Great news, we're not making any other changes because you loved the items already. While we're on the topic though, we saw a lot of discussion about the clothes pouch. Since the reception's been so positive, we'll definitely be including this item in the Forestry kit. Now you'll be able to let your best fashionscape shine. One thing to remind you guys is the clothes pouch, we kind of talked about earlier actually. You would just keep your lumberjack outfit in a backpack so you don't actually have to wear it.
Yeah,
So you can wear whatever you want. Yeah, and they better implement this for every skilling outfit.
Yeah, I don't know why they wouldn't. I'm sure they won't, but I don't know why.
One thing raised in our live stream was the potential of making the Forestry kit craftable so that players all over Gilnor can access it. While we'd like to offer alternative methods of obtaining the kit, we're not sure which approach they want to take just yet, so they're going to start exploring the options once they know results of this poll. So poll question number 3, should we introduce the Forestry kit, a wearable backslot item that would hold all materials needed for forestry? Question 4, should we introduce the clothes pouch, an object that would store the lumberjack outfit pieces and allow you to gain the bonuses while wearing other items? Question 5, should we introduce the Forester's ration, a new item that when consumed restores run energy after chopping down a tree? And question number 8, should we introduce the Secateurs attachment, a new consumable item for the Forestry kit that helps you gather more leaves?
Yeah, and also as kind of an aside, I saw someone did bring up the fact that because it is a back slot, it kind of is unfortunate because it does remove the you wearing a max cape or a wood cutting
I was going to
cape.
say, I could see it being like Ava's and they combine it with a woodcutting cape.
Yeah, but they didn't say anything about that. So
True. Someone suggested.
if you can't combine it, that'd be kind of unfortunate. Also, on top of that, I didn't know that the woodcutting cape is pretty useless and that it can't teleport you to the woodcutting guild, which seems like its only good function. If
Oh, doesn't it?
yeah, if it had any at all.
I never wear my capes. I just get them, take my pretty little picture with it, and store them forever.
Yeah. As far as events go, they do say that it seems that all the events we suggested have gone over well, but we wanted to check out the ones that were most popular. So the most popular 3 events were going to be the Leprechaun, Dryad, and Rising Roots, with the least popular being Pheasants, Poachers, and Struggling Saplings. Interestingly enough, while obviously people in RuneScape are no stranger to violent events, these ones seemed a little bit too violent for a lot of players, at least the 3 least favorite. So if they do end up passing the poll, they do say that they want to bring less violent versions of them that offer similar rewards.
It's funny because we're literally saying this. The poachers, you go and like tackle poachers, but then you don't kill them, you tackle them.
Okay.
And then the pheasants, you go and kill a bunch of pheasants. And we were like, isn't that kind of funny because we are the poachers in this situation?
Yeah.
So I like that someone brought that to their attention. We're like, this is weird.
Yeah, it was kind of just weirdly violent for woodcutting, and they kind of agree. But they have the poll question of, should we introduce forestry events? These will appear while collecting logs in the overworld, and all players can interact with them to gain rewards.
Awesome. Next up, they talk about tree leaves, campfires, and tea. So across the whole expansion, this was probably the area with the most feedback. Although it's mostly positive, you still had a few key concerns. One of the major concerns was about combat boost. You just don't feel like that meshes right with the content. Considering we already have potions, it feels a little pointless. As previously stated, we don't want to tread on the toes of existing buffs and boosts, which is why we'll be removing any and all combat bonuses from leaves, teas, and campfires moving forward.
Yeah, which makes sense.
Yeah, it makes sense. Instead, we want to focus on gathering and production benefits, and we're also interested in exploring some of those niche effects we spoke about in the initial proposal. Some of you were also wondering how T-Flask might work with the new brewing system, and that's definitely something we want to explore, but that will depend on the results of the poll. So, poll question number 8, should we expand the system behind gathering leaves? Question 9, should we explore the idea of campfires? Question 10, should Iron players benefit from other players' campfire boosts? And question 11, should we explore the idea of tea brewing?
Yeah, so overall, seems pretty good so far.
Yeah, it makes sense that they got rid of the combat, honestly.
Yeah. And finally, we have the rewards. So while we've made no major changes to the rewards, your feedback highlighted a couple of points of further exploration. Firstly, we'd like to give the two-handed axe some kind of combat stats. They're not going to be very high, but if you do want to look pretty cool while fighting, then you can. With
woodcutting,
your
you
new,
mean?
No, while fighting.
Wait,
Yeah,
really?
they're gonna give it combat stats. So if you want to go fight dragons with your
Stop
lumberjack
it.
axe, then you totally can.
Oh, I thought it was just for woodcutting.
Nope. Yeah, so you can use it for anything. It's not gonna have really good stats, but it will be usable. They're all people were also interested in surprise, surprise, pet transmogs. So
Ayo.
while we still want to offer the funky shaped log, what we can deliver is depends on the team's schedule. So this may just mean that you get the beaver will have a little less colorful options.
Which is rude because I'm assuming that means that no sparkly magic beaver.
I don't know. Yeah, so it just seems like there's going to be less options than originally, maybe they wanted.
Implied.
But they said they saw a lot of interest in having the fox from the trailer as a pet, so that's something else we'll be keeping in mind.
Yeah, that'd be a nice transmog.
Yeah, obviously, a little fox would be
That's
awesome.
adorable. No one would ever have the beaver anymore.
In terms of the polling, the rewards, though, we will be holding a separate mini poll exclusively for the rewards once we know where we sit with the rest of the content passing or whether it doesn't. But that just about wraps everything up. Like they said, this is going to go live on March 1st, so you can give your votes then.
Yes.
Until then, keep chopping is what they say.
I've already reached 99, so I'm just not going to woodcut until this comes out.
Yeah.
I've considered, like, just AFKing redwood still just to, like, grind for the pet, but, like, I don't know. I don't think I will.
Okay.
But anyway, moving on to our Q&A.
Yes.
Yes. So our first question this week is from Hariger over on Discord. If there were an OSRS theme park, thinking like Disneyland for RuneScape, what would you most look forward to? Choose one ride, one restaurant, one game stall, and one souvenir shop. For me, the Gnome Glider ride, the Grand Tree restaurant, the Catherby fishing game stand, and the Skill Cape shop. Also, because Matt, who also has questions, is friends with Hariger, Matt provided his answers. So he would want the canoe ride up the River Lum, first gentle, then aggressive in the wilderness, and I imagine that'd be a water ride, which would be really fun.
Yeah.
The kebab restaurant Al Qarid, the thieving and arty game stall, and Diego's toy store, which would actually be really good.
Yeah.
What do you think?
Overall, I think for the ride, I would say it'd probably be like a chiller ride, like
Soaring over the world,
going
but Gilmore?
through. No, just like like going through like Xenaris or something like that.
Ooh.
Yeah, I guess so.
But
something-
like kind of like at Disneyland they have like storybook rides where you kind of just like
yeah,
experiencing
it
the
would
stories.
just be like a super chill ride where
yeah.
you just be
where
like
you go when it's hot in the middle of the day.
yeah, like maybe you'd be like riding on the the ferries would be carrying you through Xenaris or something like that, and you'd
Yeah.
like teleport back to like the GE at the end or something.
One of the more
through,
scenic
like,
ones, really.
through like the fairy rings or something like that.
Yeah.
A restaurant, yeah, maybe the restaurant at the Gnome place. It seems like a pretty like,
I know. I hate
chill
that. I was
treehouse.
thinking that too. So I've been trying to think of something else because I'm like, that does seem like it'd be the most delicious.
Yeah. A game stall, probably Gnome Ball, I guess. I don't even know if that's technically a game stall, but that seems like the most fun, realistic game. And then a souvenir shop that's kind of weird because I don't really buy anything in the game. But I guess, yeah, like I guess
Or what would you want to buy in the
keeping
game?
it all like gnome themed, I guess at this point. Probably just the cool clothes shop at the gnome
Like
area.
their robe shop.
Yeah, well, yeah, they sell like really weird colored stuff that no one ever really buys. But
Maybe they could also like the gnome child hat and stuff there.
yeah, maybe stuff like that.
The mask.
Weird, but yeah.
For me, for the ride, I kind of like the idea that I just said, like a soaring over the world, but soaring over Gillinor. You guys
Yeah.
haven't been on that. You're literally just lifted into the air, and it's just a huge screen. It looks like you're flying over stuff. So that'd
Yeah.
be cool.
That'd be cool.
I also was originally thinking like a dwarven mine cart ride that would just take you through the mines. Because, like you go from the GE there, and it's just like a black screen. I want to see what's going on, and I want there to be like flips, and it's a whole roller coaster.
Yeah.
I think that would be awesome. Yeah, I like how yours was like a storybook ride. Mine's like flips.
Well, I feel like if I thought about it more, I could have like came up with a way better idea. Like I think like going through the mines of like the mines in Mauritania would probably be a cool ride because there's like ghosts
like the
and
haunted,
stuff like
the
that.
haunted mine.
Yeah.
Wait, that would be. I like that more. That's mining and haunted house.
Yeah, so it's like I could have come up with an easier or a better idea, but whatever.
I did tell him this question earlier. You can't put that blame on me.
Well, yeah.
Well, I'm gonna anyway. As for the food, I hate it, but yeah, the Gnome Stronghold honestly just does seem like the best food, and I just imagine it'd be the cutest restaurant to hang out in.
Yeah, or one of the I think the bars would be cool, like the taverns, like the Blue Moon Tavern or something like that.
Yeah, I just don't know what places. It's funny because I'm thinking of this logically, like where is a vegan I would eat in this game?
Oh, okay.
Yeah, exactly.
Probably nowhere.
Exactly. And I feel like the gnomes would be the least or the most likely to have vegan options, or maybe the elf area, like somewhere not even in Priv. Even though I love Priv, but like if Letia had a little restaurant like outside in that cute area,
Yeah,
that'd be cute.
that'd be cool.
I like. There's not anything there, but I want it for a game similar to yours. So I instead of a game stand, I was actually thinking about at Disneyland they have this Redwood Trails area. And it's like an obstacle course. I want the werewolf obstacle course.
Oh, okay.
Where you end it by going down on one of those zip lines.
Yeah.
But, like, obviously a safe, cheesy little one because it'd be an amusement park. I know that's not a game stand, but I want it.
Okay.
And it's not a ride. And for my shop, I want a fashionscape shop. I don't know if that's too similar to Diego's Toy Story answer, but I really just want, like, a fashionscape shop where you could just buy, like, all the random stuff, like mole slippers, things like that.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
Because I already have my in real life mole slippers. I want more stuff. We also actually got answers from someone else on our Discord. Cool Nate for that. So Cool Nate would want to see a magic carpet ride, the rooftop agility zip line with your teeth, underground pass wipeout style, and a one small favor scavenger hunt. I think those are all good, especially the wipeout style underground pass. That sounds really fun.
Yeah.
Our next question is going to be from Ivor on Discord. I was unsure if I was going to ask this or not.
Yeah, this is kind of a weird question.
But it actually kind of isn't a bad idea when you think about it. Just the question itself's weird. So, should Jagex add hard drugs to the game? Sounds weird, but there's more. So, players could exchange small amounts of gold with sketchy NPCs scattered around the game for extremely overpowered temporary boosts, like plus 30 to combat stats, but with repeated use, you would secretly lose XP and levels and random skills without notification, and also incur permanent penalties to your XP rates until you're a shell of your former character. Maybe not that much, but you know. Ivor wants this, got very descriptive about what kind of drugs he would want to do in the game. And he said that he would just run around the wildy with a Gmaul. And related question, what are the sketchiest areas of RuneScape? He feels like Brimhaven would be a good place to get bugged. Which, I mean, there's a bunch of pirates, so that's fair.
Yeah, I mean, like, the literal poor, sketchy section of Varrock would be a place, or any of Mauritania.
Or like the thieving den.
Yeah.
Literally thieves.
Actually, probably the least likely because everyone's a thief there.
That's true. I am also a thief.
But, yeah, I don't know.
I would say the Gnome Stronghold bar because, I mean, you just speak to Darrow or whatever and he, like, knocks you out and blindfolds you, right? Is he the one? No, he blindfolds you.
Yeah, he blindfolds you.
I'm thinking
He
of the
doesn't
guy
knock
on
you
the
out.
boat north of Canifis. Or not Canifis, north of Ectofontis.
Okay.
That guy, you try to go on a boat, and he's like, look over there, and he knocks you out. So he would sell drugs for sure.
Yeah, I don't remember that, but probably, yeah, probably. But either way, I would definitely say no, just because one, I could easily see someone going as a like a level 1 and getting those upgrades, and then just using that to like go PK,
Yeah.
and they have nothing to lose. And yeah, obviously, it would need some tweaking and stuff like that. So.
Of course. And they couldn't introduce it as hard drugs.
But either way, no, just because, I mean, it makes sense. They have that in other games. So they have that in GTA, and that makes sense in GTA because you're like literally like a criminal that like just nothing is off limits to you.
Yeah.
And so you can do that. And it also gives you like boosts and stuff like that. Like you can run faster and yeah, just.
Is there bad effects?
No.
Okay, we'll see. Okay, he also like expands on more because Bali asked, aren't pots just magic drugs? And Ivor said, but he meant it to be more extreme and like almost like addicting versions that have a debilitating long-term consequences for your gameplay experience.
I think overall,
which would make it harder, I think, to implement.
Overall, I think it would be a cool idea, not introduced in that way, but if there were potions that were extremely strong, but
they
also
really
had
messed you up.
Extremely bad side effects.
I think that'd be cool. I don't know how they do it though.
I think that'd be cool, like if it gave you like plus 30 attack, but it also gave you like minus 20 defense or something crazy high, like or even higher, like maybe minus 40 defense. So it's like you would get a huge offensive bonus, but you would be taking the L anytime someone tried to attack you.
If you take one special, you're out.
Yeah, so I think stuff like that would be really cool. And
that'd be fun.
It could just be a normal pot for all I care, but I think that
they have to be smoking out of a out of a bong or
Okay,
something.
okay. Let's
See, I
calm
made it
down.
weed. I made it tame.
Yeah, let's calm down.
Harger actually said this is the best bad idea ever. I actually support it, and just suggested some sketchy areas you could buy it from, like East Varrock, West Arty. I thought that was a good one.
I think the best idea would be the I think did they say the bandit camp?
I was just gonna next say Bandit Camp,
Yeah,
Brimhaven
because
Bar.
that's where you sell all like your stuff in the wilderness.
Yeah.
So that they would probably have the like craziest stuff
The
there.
wilderness would totally have drugs.
Well, yeah.
And also nomad smugglers in the desert. Ivor also said that the Freaky Forester sells the best drugs. Which,
Maybe.
based on that name, he does. Our final question this week is from Matt over on Instagram. If OSRS introduced a new prayer book discovered during a quest under Pile of Magma Rocks under SAR, what prayers would you hope for?
All fire themed.
Yeah, I'm bad at questions like this because I'm not very creative at coming up with new ideas. But if it's under SAR, like, what's around there? It's just like Jad and stuff.
Well, yeah, all the lava stuff. It's a volcano.
Yeah. So, I mean, I don't really know what would be fire theme that you can use in the fight caves and stuff, because you don't really use mage at all. So I'd want it to be something that you could kind
Why
of
would
use.
you need it in the fight caves?
Well, because it's in that area. I'd want it to be something that you could use in the fight caves.
Oh.
That's my logic.
Oh, that's easy. You could just make it so you ignite all your projectiles.
Oh, yeah. Okay, never mind. I want that prayer.
Yeah,
I want a
like,
prayer that makes all of my arrows on fire.
Yeah, which would do like
For fun.
periodic damage or something.
Yeah, it'd be like poisoning.
But also, that probably wouldn't be. I mean, the game doesn't have it, but that wouldn't be as effective against Jad because he lives in a volcano.
No, of course not. But I mean, like, maybe against like the little bats or something.
Yeah, something like that, or maybe
And an animation that they send fire.
Yeah, maybe you could do like something that would like infuse your bows with like obsidian or something to make them like, or your arrows to make them stronger, or something like that.
I like that.
Yeah, there's a lot of things you could go. They would all be fire related. I think it would like maybe you could buff all your fire spells or something like that. Or,
That'd be good. That would be really good.
Yeah, or make it so that like for a limited time you didn't need fire or lava runes or smoke runes. You could just cast with as long as you had the prayer up. Kind of like an overhead. Also, someone I just saw the other day came out with an entire like spell or prayer book that they made themselves, which had a lot of really good ideas in it. Some were really busted, but some were pretty good ideas. So, yeah,
inspire some of your answers right now.
No, not even close. But I would recommend checking that out if you were interested in looking at new prayer books. It was over on the subreddit. I think it was a really good post.
I'm so envious people who come with ideas, because I read that question literally like hours ago, and I've been thinking about it, and I still don't have any ideas. Because it doesn't help that I don't remember what prayers we already have. Because I was gonna say, oh, maybe like we can melt bars like smithing, and I was like, that's literally already a spell.
Yeah. Or you could make it so like there could be, I think often whenever you think of fire you think of like getting burned, so I think you could do something where like you get an extreme buff but also it makes you take damage, so like you're kind of
like the drugs.
Okay, yeah, not even close. But yeah, so like kind of like sacrificing yourself to like give yourself like more power or something like that.
It's more like a dark arts kind of thing too.
Yeah, like maybe you can get like a 90% overhead, but to all damage. But while you do that, you take damage periodically or something like that.
Yeah,
so,
it kind of reminds me of the invocations like a TOA. They're like you take less protection or something like that.
Yeah, or like maybe you'll
are bonuses.
You'll get like a really big damage buff of like 30%, but you're taking additional damage from the enemy. So like you'll get like a 35% extra melee damage or extra melee strength, but you also take 25% extra damage or
That's
something
really
like that.
good. I like that.
Because then if someone spec'd you out for 50, then they'd actually be hitting you for, way higher, like 60 or 70.
Yeah.
I'm not going to do the math, but yeah, something like that.
It's funny. These answers are kind of tying in with Ivor's. Like Ivor's drugs could actually be a prayer book.
Well, anything could really be. I mean, they're all just boosts.
Anything
at the end
could
of the
be
day.
drugs.
No, they're all just boosts at the end of the day. So it's not that hard to come up with. It's just hard to balance it.
Yeah, I now need to think of a clickbaity title for this episode and talking about drugs in RuneScape.
Okay, yeah, but
We'll
speaking about the end of the episode, I think that's going to be it from us. Do you have anything coming up in the next week that you want to tell everyone about?
Just working on transmogs.
Just working on transmogs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I really want to learn how to red X and butterfly. I was going to watch a video on it last night. Didn't.
For
Want to
anyone that
watch one
doesn't
today.
know, those are
Didn't.
techniques used in the Tomb of a Mascot.
The reason why I can't solo, because they're basically undoable in high level unless someone is butterflying.
Yeah.
Ugh.
Or just do it a different way. But with that being said,
He doesn't get it.
that is going to
Are you
be
gonna do
the
anything?
end of the episode. No, probably not.
Nice.
So that is going to be it. Hopefully you all enjoyed it. And if you did, make sure to check out any of our social media.
Yep, and you can also ask us questions on any of these. So our Twitter is Bunebapeosrs, as well as our TikTok. Our Instagram and YouTube are both Bunebape, and I stream 5 days a week at twitch.tv/Bunebape. So come say hello to me.
Yeah,
and
so check out.
carry me to these transmogs, please, God.
Yeah, make sure to come check out all of our stuff. And yeah, hopefully you all have a good day and enjoy listening to this.
Yep.
So we'll see you all
Very soon.
and
Bye-bye.
bye-bye.